Hey everyone, welcome to the Cloaks of Mindhelm. D&D 5e, I was going to say podcast, the stream here from Penny Dragon Games, chronicling the adventures of the City Watch of Mindhelm, or well, the shittiest part of the City Watch of Mindhelm. So the lowest rung of the City Watch of the smelliest, nastiest, most dangerous city in Estra. So we're here after a bit of a hiatus from the main campaign. So there's a lot to catch up on. We're going to have a fairly significant amount of downtime catching up with everyone. And since the last time, everyone has become level 3. So we'll see what changes have been made and what people have got now. So I'm Ben, I'm DMing. And I think I'm just going to go around and we'll do intros before any announcements we might have. So just where everyone is on my screen. What have I got? Michaela, tell us who you're playing. And
hi, I'm Michaela. I'm playing Navani. I'm a high elf paladin, and I'm. Pouch is my little brother. I'm in the Brown Cloaks to look after him and make sure that he stays out of trouble. And so that's basically my job. I'm on sabbatical from Lower Keep at the moment, with the hopes of going back there at some point.
Yeah. And speaking of the devil, Kyle.
So I'm playing Tramscribe, also known as Pouches. I am a half-elf wizard and a little bit of a shit stir and magical mishap waiting to happen.
Yeah, a little bit, and playing the hedge mage subclass,
yes, the
from
hedge
our very
wizard.
own Mag of Holding. If you want to check it out. And next, who do we have? Fona.
Hi, I'm Fona. I'm playing Andy, who's a young human rogue, and she's on work release from prison, basically. So that's how she ended up here for a little tiny, teeny weeny break and enter, which was totally blown out of proportion and no way deserved the sentence I got. But I'm working it off in the Brown Cloaks instead.
Yeah. Next, Boyd. You tell us a bit about your guy.
Okay, so I'm playing Dural Stonehelm. He is a dwarf. He's about 70 years old, and he's a little bit naive and loves adventurers like a modern-day 9-year-old would love superheroes. And yeah, he punches things.
Hell yeah. Yeah, but Boyd is playing third party, quote unquote, an unofficial class called Pugilist from Benjamin Hoffman. You can find it on DM's Guild. Highly recommend it. Check it out if you haven't already.
Class. Very fun so far.
Yeah, sort of a strength-based monk kind of barbarian kind of thing going on. It's great. So if you've ever wanted to punch things but not have to be all zen about it, then
that's my favorite part.
You can be a pugilist. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, Paddy.
Yeah, I play Vorden Thalis. He's an old, grumpy, kind of standoffish character who's been in the Brown Cloaks for a while, and he ended up there through a series of events that are mysterious even to him. And yeah, he doesn't really seem to care about an awful lot about himself, but maybe deep down he's a little more caring than he likes to pretend. And he's a fighter, and we'll see what kind of subclass he moves into later on, I suppose.
He's a fighter, and we may learn whether or not he's multi-classed into lava. So yeah, as I say, we're going to do a bit of level up, but just before we get into that, do we have any particular announcements or anything we want to shout out before we get into it?
Our pre-order store is still live for Mag of Holding 2, so any of you want to pick that up, you can get both Mag of Holding 1 and 2 on that store. So
Yeah.
that'll be open for a couple more days before we start closing that down.
Cool. Yeah, so if you like the look of all the carnage that Pouches is sure to, cause me, then, check out the Hedge Mage, the Hedge Wizard in Mag of Holding 1.
Yep. And we will excitedly be releasing a Cleric subclass for Mag of Holding 2. So just a little hint of what's coming there.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Seen it.
Yeah, Prince for Mag of Holding 2 should be out by the end of the month as well, which should be fun. And we just a little teaser I want to throw out there that Michaela and I went up to Dublin yesterday, and we joined. It's Undercover Games, a little game shop that specializes in tabletop stuff. I say little game shop; they're actually really big. They've got like a huge area for selling Warhammer 40k, D&D, all the familiar stuff, but also they have this huge section for playing games, like with loads of tables, and it was awesome. And number one, we made a bunch of connections there, which is really nice. Number two, we got to hang out with the mayor of South Dublin for a while, who, as it turns out, is a big fan of D&D, and he was telling us all about his games, and I was super impressed, and I think
They're
Michaela was too.
everywhere.
I was, yeah. Our mate, our buddy Peter.
Yeah, our friend, we're now best friends. Our best friend Peter.
Yeah.
And,
D&D nerds, we've infiltrated the government.
Yeah.
The seats of power.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who's getting my vote. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and we also ran a game as well. I DM'd a game and ran a bunch of scenarios that we play tested for sort of our big, mysterious, awesome Kickstarter that's coming out in March of 2022, and we're kind of keeping it under wraps at the minute, but in the new year we'll be revealing what that is, so watch this space.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was very disappointed. I was gonna go up and then I couldn't, and then I'm like, I could have met the mayor and made political connections. Would have furthered my schemes for world domination.
Darn.
So much. So yeah, as
Ben
all
having
DMs,
schemes
we
for
know,
domination.
Yeah, all DMs are megalomaniacs, as we all know. So yeah, without any further ado, then I think since we're gonna get into it with everyone's level ups, again, I suppose I'll go in the same order if people want. So we said we'd roll HP, live on stream so that you can share the joy or the pain with all of us.
So is it me first then?
Yeah, I'll go down just in the same order of
Okay.
everyone here.
So I get to roll 1d10.
You do indeed.
I don't want to see it. Oh, that was so nearly a 10. That was so close. 6.
Okay, so what's your con?
My con is 16.
Okay, sweet. So that's another 9 HP anyway, right? That's three?
Yep.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Okay. Pouches HP. Kyle, did you?
4. So with con, that gives me a 7. I am the tankiest wizard.
So
Does
pretty
not say
respectable for
much.
a wizard.
Yeah, being over 20 for a wizard level 3 is respectable.
Yeah, you're like the I don't know. I got vibes of Jafar at the end of Aladdin when he's infinite cosmic power.
Itty bitty living space.
Yeah, you have.
I actually
earned
saw the greatest
muscles.
one ever, where it was like, if you're playing the genie sorcerer, and the guy was like, when you get to level 10 and you can put the whole party in there, you just take Find Familiar, you put the whole party in, and you just fly through the dungeon.
Yeah, you just get Iago, to pick up like you pick something.
Yeah, just pull
yeah,
some.
I cast Yeet. Actually, petition to
I'm proficient
rename.
in that.
I got expertise. Yeah, a petition to rename the catapult spell Yeet because
I second that motion.
Yeah,
No.
Third.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
We literally have a jar in the house that is. My brother uses yeet. He puts money in the jar.
That's an even more reason for us to start using it.
yeah,
No,
we've
I don't
got
want to
a-
be. I don't want to fall into that habit. I am old and crouchy, and I want to shout kids on my lawn. I don't want to use this
Yeah.
modern, newfangled lingo.
Just pretend it's you know, it's like arcane, you know. It's just verbal components, you know. So who have we got? Fona, what's
Okay.
Andy's HP gonna look like? Let's
So I have no idea what I'm supposed to roll for this, unfortunately.
should be
D8.
for a rogue.
8. Dun-dun-dun-dun. How do I roll a D8 in here? Oh, I know how to do it. No, never mind. D8. Come on. Not a 1.
Oh,
Nice.
Andy has been eating her Weetabix.
Nice.
Wow. Sweet.
Sweet. Nice
Andy
one.
got-
add your
Oh.
pawn to that.
Yeah. Okay, so then next up is Boyd.
Ooh.
And do you have a D8 or a D10?
I have a D8 actually. Yeah, not that tanky.
Yeah, I guess they get all there.
Oh,
Well, take it.
Nice.
nice.
The D8s are coming through
Wow.
tonight. Shit.
Oh dear, I'm
Nice one.
really
That's more
nervous
like
now.
it. That's more like it. Yeah,
Ooh, some good shit.
yeah. You're up on stage next after 2 standing ovations, and
I know. What?
know.
I can't handle the
just-
pressure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
Let's try this. See what happens.
Warden.
D10.
What does a fighter need its HP for anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
Oh,
Unfortunately, in the grim, gritty world of Mindhelm,
I felt that in my
I
soul.
cannot soften my DM heart and reroll.
That's okay. I still have more than Kyle.
Mhm.
That's all that matters.
By what? Like
Yeah.
3.
I've got 26 total now.
By 3.
Pretty.
You beat
pretty,
the wizard
yeah,
by 3.
pretty bad for a level 3 fighter. But anyway, we'll take it.
Oh damn, I've got 33.
Yeah. I think the
Door
only
in front.
person.
The only one.
I said that the only person who doesn't beat you in the party is the wizard.
At this point, probably, yeah.
Wait, Andy?
I'm also 26, so we're becoming like more synced, Gordon. You know,
Yeah.
like, we're
Oh,
both
no.
stealthy now. We both have the
Yeah.
same HP.
Swap.
Andy
no,
and I are
actually-
becoming best buddies.
Yeah. Oh, Paddy, you did have your HP from level 2, didn't you? That's you. Yeah, you were.
That
at
was including my
24 and
HP
then-
from level 2, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that
Cool,
my,
cool,
my
cool.
last roll was average at like a 6 or something.
yeah, yeah. So, okay. So, so in terms of but in terms of like subclasses and things, do we want to go through kind of what if people aren't too sure what their subclass does, I can, you know,
If I could ask to be left out of that, those would be. I would like to reveal some of mine in combat.
Me
Yes,
too,
this
if
is-
that's okay.
I don't
Oh,
get a
yeah, no, I don't.
subclass.
I don't mind at all. Only if anyone's excited. You know what? Actually, yes, because I actually, for most of you, yeah, I think it actually will work a bit better in RP. So yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Let's just keep it kind of on the DL, I think.
Yeah, see if you can figure it out. So with that, now it's been, you know, hiatus of 3 sessions, you know, 3 weeks of the main campaign. So it's going to have been 3 weeks.
We need to have a
Yeah.
little celebration here. Christian has finally ordered his first hard copy D&D rulebook since 2nd edition.
Yay!
Yay! Congratulations, Christian.
We've turned him. We've done our job.
One of us. One
One
of
of
us.
Welcome
Those
to the dark
bribes
side.
that we pay to the those that actually no. I was like live on stream. Actually, I shouldn't imply, even as a joke, that I bribed a public official. So yeah, there's going to be a significant amount, or well, I say significant, but we're going to be doing downtime, and so 3 weeks have passed in world as well. You know, since our last mission, where Navani has actually been off, doing a bit more training at Lawkeep. She also just the last mission you went on that you as an audience saw, because obviously the Cloaks, this party, either together or individually or in other groups, are obviously doing their job on other patrols, on pretty mundane things. The things we tend to see are sort of the most interesting adventure. I mean, we could run a D&D game where we follow Vorden around for 8 hours while he patrols the fish market, but I don't think it'd be that
Picks
exciting.
up more seasoning. Just a cooking episode with Warden,
I'll dedicate
Actually-
my free fish to the cause.
Yeah.
Actually, that sounds awesome. This is a cooking show now.
Vorden's kitchen.
I just imagine the Swedish chef. I don't know why.
Chopping shit up just randomly.
Okay, so here's a question for everyone. What do they call Swedish chef in Sweden?
Chef.
I don't know. I was asking if anyone knew.
Yeah, in the Muppets in Sweden, it's Chef from South Park. It's just Chef. So so we're gonna be going through quite a few things, and actually, I'm not sure. No, I suppose I'll do this. I'll do this at the end. Sorry, I'm getting the order of my events together. So the last time that we saw everyone, everybody bar Navani, who was not picked for this particular assignment that we last saw the party. We had a guest. We had Juan, who is also in our Humblewood game, and he DMs Lost Minds of Fandelver on Tuesdays for us. He was guesting. He's also guest DM'd a Cloaks game on our sort of little hiatus a couple of weeks, and is just generally all around a machine.
And the most important accomplishment, became published this week for the first time in our Cloak setting.
Yes.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He published the adventure Boil Boil. So if you want to
man
check it
is a
out,
legend.
check out our Patreon.
You do. If you like what Jean's been doing, and I certainly do, he puts me to shame. You're all stuck with me. You're going to have to put up with it. So, with that, we were going to retrieve the body, basically, of a young, foolish nobleman who thought himself an adventurer down in the beaches of Low Tide. We ran into some smugglers.
What was one's character's name again? I just can't remember. Arnard.
Yeah, so Arnard was a ranger, halfling, kind of an ex sailor, ex marine sort of. So that's where we had left things. And now, sorry, give me 1 second. Let's start.
Was it that we bravely ran away? Did we hear a noise and bravely run away with the body?
Well, we did, delve into the darkness, and we sort of reached an agreement with the smugglers that because they were attacked by these troglodytes that had come up from the deep, which they were using this cave for probably decades, and nothing had ever come out of this very deep pond, kind of lake in the cave, and suddenly these things had shown up, and there seemed to be, from visions, these sort of vaguely psionic creatures, like a radio picking up a errant signal. There seemed to be some sense that the troglodytes were running from something down deep below, and you yourselves had kind of felt some disturbances in the force down in the sewers. There have been tremors and things. So with that, it is, it's a pretty overcast morning. All of you gathered in the training yard for drills. The ground is just wet mud. It's caked onto your boots. It's sucking and squelching on your feet as you're trying to move about and spar. But not only the weather, but the mood around the barracks has been rather somber. As not a few weeks, about a week ago. So we're going to jump back and forth a little bit in time, but about a week ago, an entire patrol of brown cloaks went missing down in the sewers. No one has been able to find even a trace of them. Many are presuming them dead. Some are holding out hope, but it looks pretty grim. There was a patrol there of you might have had conversations with some of them. Some of you might have known others better than others. But there was Cyrus. There was the Drow Vernorsh, who herself, quite unique, because Drow would be uncommon in the city anyway. People are, as most of these things, probably a bit unfairly, a bit prejudiced against the Drow. So that obviously sort of made her stand out, just even being, a bit of a curiosity. So she would have been familiar to most of you, just even by sight. There was also the dwarf Jagus and the halfling Faustus, or rather meek, sort of, not meek, but that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, just a very kind of pleasant, little halfling, and also probably one of the better known, as he was quite conversational. There was old Bill Brickman, and all of these brown cloaks have just vanished, and it's kind of really left a mark. It's not uncommon, obviously, for cloaks to die, or plenty of times people wash out. It's a dangerous and deadly job, but for an entire patrol to go at once, and it's the disappearance, I think, that is sort of getting to people a little more. There aren't any body, it's a bit disturbing. And there, as you're all standing there is has been whispering around the morning that everyone has been gathered, and there's talk. Several people have mentioned that it's the work of the Black Cloak, who I think you can be reasonably sure you met down in the sewers. Said he's out for revenge. He's out for revenge on the cloaks. Bastards, people spitting into the mud, and there is just this. Yeah, there's a few other. Some people are saying, oh no, it was probably. Who knows, butchers, down there, one of the gangs, or it's just one of the beasties, they probably got sucked into an excremental, or, but there's a sort of a pervasive, rumor now, it's catching fire, that this was the Black Cloak. And there have been rumors on the streets, the Black Cloak's name is on the lips of the general public a little bit more than it had been in recent years. Whether there's any truth to these rumors or not, most people don't know. But on that morning, you're all training out with Captain Galloway and also Delphine Astor, who is the armorer. She's she's about late 20s, very slender, half-elf female. That's slender, but that sort of very ropey muscle. It's just like that sort of 0% body fat, and she has very, very long auburn hair that she ties up into two I don't know what they're called, the Princess Leia buns. They're just like tightly rolled.
Come on,
so
Michaela.
she's out, obviously. Yeah.
What? How the fuck would I know? I don't know what they're called.
Buns.
She,
Buns.
Side buns.
Leia buns.
Leia buns, yeah.
Yeah.
Leia buns, yeah.
Chelsea buns.
Yeah. So she, as if she's the armorer, so obviously she's the head smith and she takes care of all the weapons and stuff. So, she's very precious about the sword if you're sparring with swords or something, not to nick them, so you're all sort of being watched like hawks. But as you are, there is you see a young man, very new. He's only been here. You saw him arrive in barracks last night. Young human man. He looks like he's in his early 20s, but his hair, but still at 20, receding hairline and an underbite. He looks quite, scrawny. He's kind of trying to hit he's hitting a little wooden dummy thing with a club, but it's very lackluster, and he keeps sort of so often kind of you see he's getting the shock from hitting the wood on wood, and he's stretching his hand. And there's a couple of people have said that's Archie Brickman. That's old Bill's son. He's joined up with the Cloaks. Someone was like, yeah, bit of a waste of space. Nothing like his old man,
Do we see him?
Yeah, you see him. He's struggling to, he's sparring with a wooden dummy, and you can see from across the yard that Dag and Tam, two of I think in our first session, some kind of nasty brown cloaks, ex-sailor, they're sort of eyeing him up,
I'd like to walk over to him and just say, just to start kind of helping him, fixing his posture,
his form and whatever,
fixing him and getting him to repeat after me and showing him how to kind of hit properly, and then I glance over at them and I give them the stink eye, as if to say back off.
They don't move, but they just kind of shuffle. They kind of keep talking amongst themselves, and they cast an eye over every so often, but the postures changes a little bit,
Yeah.
And actually, you also see from across the yard, Andy, where you are, you're on the shooting range, and next to you is another brown cloak. I think we met in our first session, Callister, or some people calling him Prince. He was the rather sheltered, scrawny little noble boy, blonde. He's now grown himself a little bit of a beard. He's put on a little bit of mass, and you're actually quite surprised. He's proven himself to, while he was pretty hopeless in a fight before, he's actually quite a good archer. So the two of you have been shooting, and he's kind of looking at Archie as well, and sees Navani go over, and that was Prince not too long ago.
So yeah, Andy does follow his gaze and look over at Nirvani going over, but she basically just kind of smirks amused at the appearance of the guy trying to beat the dummy, and then goes back to shooting more arrows, probably trying to knock Prince's arrow off the board.
Yeah, give me give me a dexterity check.
Dex check. What would you... Nope, that's just rolled intuition. Hang on a second. Come on, give me a break here. Dex. There we go. 14.
It's good. You get right next to it, and it doesn't, because you've each got a target, and you kind of aim at his, and it hits the same spot, but just side by side, and he kind of gives you side eye and gives you a smirk. And I don't know if it, I don't know if it's Andy's thing, but he is, he's a very sort of, finely, sharp cheekboned. He's not a bad looking guy, especially now that he's lost a bit of his scared puppy dog look. But he's kind of keeps looking back at Archie, but now that Navani's gone over, he's contented to keep shooting. So I think, just if there's anything just as like training, if anybody has anything in particular they want to do before we kind of get into general recaps, as to give a bit of a chance as we get the State of the Union, to see if there's anything in particular that people, because I have not including the things that you've all kind of told me you were doing. But well,
my thing, so I'd imagine like sometime in the evening, everybody's kind of after dinner, everybody's kind of going back to their quarters and that kind of thing. And I walk up to Andy's door, or is there doors in the barracks, or do you just kind of like walk in?
Yeah, well, she's got a bunk. Well, if you want, I can. Yeah, you might as well do it. Yeah.
No, you do it. You go for it.
Well, no, yeah, because I was going to do that during Vani's downtime recap.
Okay, let's do that then. I'll shut up and let's just do that.
No, but I will. I'll defer to you then. Will on at that, because once I'm doing your
let's keep it together then. Yeah.
Cool. I just wanted to give a little sort of reintroduction to the state of things, but it's been it's a long 3 weeks, but who do we have first? So Andy, I know the last time we were all together, Andy has her Oathkeeper band. Actually, so does Doral for different reasons, but it's kind of what keeps you bound to the Brown Cloaks when you are there. Not necessarily by choice. I mean, you took the plea deal, but you can't leave. Just whenever you want. And actually, that's another point as well. Is actually in the drains. The drains is walled off. The drains is the very poor area of Vinehelm that your barracks, the old barracks, is located in. Obviously, it's a very impoverished area, and to sort of keep out the riffraff on behalf of the hoity-toity nobles and all the rest, there is a wall going around, and it's very heavily sort of taxed and tolled, and who can come and go from the drains, who can enter the city proper, and most of the Brown Cloaks would be able to, because just if they needed to, but they might still have to get permissions, obviously, but it's more of a formality. But for you or other people with the Oathkeeper band, it's not that simple. You are kind of locked down into the drain, which it's still quite a large part of Minehelm, but you can't go anywhere nice so to speak. But you do manage to slip out one night. It's pretty trivial for you.
Would Andy even know where anywhere nice is?
Yeah. No.
Well, Andy used to.
I used to be in better circles.
Not
that I would have socialized. I probably wouldn't know where good
nice
pubs are or anything.
No, it also depends on your definition of nice. So
the only time Andy goes nice is when she's casing a joint.
Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't always a thief. I'm just saying, Once upon a time, I was a good girl, and I came from a respectable background. I just...
And then you turned to...
Made some friends.
Fell in with the wrong crowd.
Yeah, you go to the library that you used to study at. You're looking for information on the band, and it's it's about what you expected. You were kind of hoping against hope that you would find something there, but in your research there, nothing particular to the band comes up, and it's quite disappointing, and you make your way back. But after a few days, from Briona Belmont, the woman, one of the middlemen, the smugglers, who you had petitioned to sort of find. You said, could you get me information, or get this fucking thing off me, in exchange for it. A large smoking egg, I believe, is what you exchanged for that. They give me a couple of weeks. I'll see if I can get you a name. So it has come back with a name and an address. Or, it's pretty right. I mean, there's not postcodes in Minehelm, it's not as exact. But it is, the name is Rowan Rel. But the tricky thing is that Rowan Rel, specifically the silversmith shop that they operate, is in the neighborhood. It's not in Highbourne Hill, like it's not, in with all the noble. But it's in that district, So it's in the upper class part of Minehelm, in the commercial district. But yeah, that is, presuming Andy is going there.
Well, yeah, once she figure, assuming she can figure out a way to get there and not be stopped or
Yeah,
spotted.
for experience. Yeah, it'll take some do. So you take a few days to kind of, how am I going to do this? I got a plan. Obviously, I need to make sure that I'm not on duty. And it also helps that in those few days, you go to Sweetwater Square. I believe is where the kid is, who, if you're looking for jobs from Lord Puddle, the sort of information broker of the city down in the drains, he said he might have a bit of work for you. And one day, finally, when you go and you speak a little code, see if there's any work going, there is some. And so for basically you spend most of a day and for a couple of days, your downtime, eavesdropping around the Bit and Bridle Tavern for Lord Puddle, and for your trouble, you earn 3d10 plus 10 gold pieces if you'd like to roll 3d10.
So 3d10 plus 10, what's it you said?
Yeah.
So 3d10.
I can roll the d10s for you if you want.
No, I figured out where to roll them from. So I'm like, also, I'm just thinking Borden is like, those missing fingers are like definitely.
Yeah, he rolls 2s when he rolls d10s. Don't trust him.
Yeah.
Although I got a 1 and a 2, so maybe
he might have done better.
He might have done better.
Maybe.
Is it because
Yeah.
that's how High Warden can count?
How many fingers he has?
How do you think he can count that high?
Yeah.
One,
Ben,
Wait,
what
wait,
was the name of the
one.
tavern again?
2. I got
Yeah.
like
The-
thumb and
Something like that, like Spider-Man. The Bit and Bridle, was it?
Yeah, the Bit and Bridle. Yeah.
The Bit and Bridle.
Yeah, which is I needed a tavern name, and I was like, you know what, I like that. That is actually a pub in the Limerick Junction train station.
Is it? We
That's
must
class.
go there.
Yes!
When we do our tour, we're gonna go
I've
there.
only been once, but it was just, I was like, that's a very, I don't know, it sounds like a very
It's a very fantasy name.
fantasy name.
It
Yeah,
is
it's
a very,
like,
Yeah,
a
love
very
it.
proper tavern where the horses come up, as opposed to the Galway hooker in Houston.
But that's a nice
Yeah.
beer. That's a nice beer as well. They make don't they have a brewery
Yeah.
called the Galway Hooker?
yeah, there
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah, Galway Hooker is a kind of beer,
Nice.
which,
Like
of course,
craft.
for a 19-year-old me, when I first saw Galway Hooker for sale in an off license in Cork City, was of course, hilarious.
Yeah. Did you buy one just so that you could tell, your parents, I bought a Galway hooker at the weekend?
No, and I should have. Although for my 18th birthday, I did buy a bottle of Hobgoblin beer just so I could have the bottle.
That is not how I thought that conversation was going to go there.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to take another turn.
By the way, if we're adding activities to the trip, I know what we're all doing when we're in Philly for, I think it's PAX next year.
Yes.
There's a pub that does it's called it's like the Fire Wing Challenge. And it's 12 hot wings doused in hot sauce, and you have to eat it without drinking anything. And then you have to lick your fingers, and then you have to wait 5 minutes before you can drink or have a napkin.
Yeah.
And they
I
said-
wouldn't even.
And they said per hot wing, it equates to about half a habanero per hot wing in the sauce.
I can't deal with like even the mildest amount of spice. But if they have a challenge where you
I'm
have
the
to
same.
eat
You
like
do-
an
you do
inordinate amount
realize-
of wings.
You're talking to a bunch of people who live on an island that only like found out about curry about 20 years ago.
That's pretty. Yeah.
But 5 minutes
I'll
after you
do
did,
the one. I'll do the one where you have to eat the ridiculously large steak and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. I
Sign
could
me
do
up.
Not the
that.
hot wing challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break out the sweatpants.
as you said though, 5 minutes after you discovered curry, though, it became your national dish. Let's be honest. Curry takeaway is like the national dish of the UK.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not the UK.
Yeah. I was waiting to see which one would say it first. so,
Not to make it political, you know.
yeah.
One
But,
of
like,
you
where
is.
I am,
Actually,
it is the UK. So,
Technically.
Two of you are.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah.
Obviously, no one in this group agrees with that.
No.
Well,
Well, maybe.
Yeah, I don't mind either way.
despite the fact that I am Irish and that I'm Catholic, I can't say that with my accent. I can't be like, we're not in the UK.
Yes, you can. You're one of us now.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear. Okay, moving swiftly on.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're not gonna fight over this, are
Back
we?
to the game that we've completely derailed now.
No, you derailed. Don't you start blaming everyone else.
I
Okay.
didn't
Okay.
do shit. You guys were talking about hookers and beers. And...
Something about
Sounds like a
winning
good tavern.
hookers. Yeah. So, you earn, what is that, 16 gold pieces,
16 gold.
You're not sure. A lot of it seemed pretty mundane, but like a lot of the work that you did for Lord Puddle in the past, the reasoning behind why you're doing it is a little opaque, and these people could be talking in code for all you know. It's mostly listening or reading. The man deals in information, but once you have a plan in place, you make your way up to the fancier boroughs of Minehelm, being careful not to be spotted. Of course, you don't go in your brown cloak, and you do something to try and conceal the band.
I take a bath.
And yeah, with some some effort. Things are pretty. This isn't like, it's definitely not like the drains with crooked alleys and everything is bunched up on top of each other. And trying to find something in some little nook or crook can be very difficult. This is pretty well laid out, wide, thoroughfares and everything. And there's just nestled between two larger shops is a very narrow sandstone building. It doesn't have a sign or anything, but this is the place. There is a little plaque in bronze, on the building. I think of the fucking word building. That has the name Rowan Rell, and it says silversmith antiques. Silversmith, and antiques, silverware. So it appears it's open. I don't know. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go in and ask the person, presumably at some kind of a counter, if I can speak to Rowan Rell.
Yeah. So if you walk in, there isn't anyone. Actually, sorry. Before I continue, is the music too loud or anything for anybody? Just before I kind of continue. Okay. So as you go in, and immediately you're struck by the person
smooth
who's
criminal.
Yes. No, Andy is the smooth criminal.
I'm the smooth criminal,
We
yeah.
talked
Yeah.
about the derailing,
So-
Kyle. Come on.
So there is someone standing there. They are like a little bit look human, but something not quite human about them. They have their skin is the color of like warm clay. It's slightly textured in a strange way, warts, like almost like pebbles, not warts but little blemishes. There are strange sort of wrinkles that look like cracks, you know, in the earth on their
I'm
face.
listening.
Their hair is like silver, not like, oh, they've got very, you know, pale gray or white hair. Their hair is like almost the color of silver, as if it was threaded from the metal itself. And their eyes, pupilless, not unlike sort of cloudy, like as if they were blind, almost look like white marble veined with red, you know, at the corners. But they don't turn as you come in. Their head just sort of tilts a little bit, and they say, and they turn in your direction. But they're not looking. They're not making eye contact. They're just sort of looking in your general direction. So they say, "Welcome. How can I help you?" Oh, sorry. As you come in, sorry, there was a pile of, you know, there was a silver object, and the person was pulling their hands like this, and the silver was like, the metal was just as if it was flowing, as if it was red hot. It flowed and it went to a point, and they were making a little picture, or like, you know, out of this thing. So they were just moving the metal with their hands, like telekinetically, you know. And then they stopped and they turned and said, "Well, welcome. How can I help you?"
Okay, so in this moment, Andy is reevaluating her life choices and wondering if she really wants to talk to this dude or if she should leg it now. But spotting his trick with the metal, it's going to steal her resolve, because, you know, clearly dude has some mad skills. So she's going to approach him and ask, is he, like, are you Rowan Rel?
Rowan. They say, yes, I am.
So I understand that, you know, obviously you're very gifted with metals, and I have a little problem I was hoping you might be able to help me with. And she kind of does her best attempt at like big doe eyes, but it's not one of her main skill sets. So I don't know how successful she is.
Do you? He sort of kind of pauses a moment. He's like, oh, they say, "I'm very sorry. You'll have to. What is it that you're looking for?"
So she'll pull up her sleeve where she's hidden the band and show it to him. And she was saying, I was hoping you'd be able to help me get this off.
When you do that, you lift the sleeve and it sort of hits the, you know, it slides off the metal. And again, they don't look to the band, but their head just sort of like tilts ever so slightly. And then they reach out and they kind of hover their hands near the band. I see. Yes. This is right. Well, it's not going to be cheap. Well, I assume you need it off urgently.
Well, yeah, as soon as you can. Like, I have some money. I can get more. You know, so I can pay.
They sit, and they're wearing sort of quite it's short sleeve, but sort of airy, sort of like you know, sort of a low neck thing, sort of that thing you'd see like Vikings wear, that kind of, you know, sort of quite wide sleeve thing. It's just this sort of like, it's this kind of linen, or not linen, kind of a silk thing that they're wearing. I don't know how to describe it. They sit down. They say, well, if you have, or if you can get 10,000 gold, then I can get it off. But I don't mean to be presumptuous, but given the predicament that you find yourself in, I'm going to assume that you don't have a lot of funds at your disposal. Certainly
Not right now. No. But I can figure out a way. I will get that. I will figure out a way. Or maybe there's some job you need done, or something I can do. You know, we can trade.
Well, the price is the price because it's risky. I don't really want the authorities down on my head. Not that I do anything illegal otherwise, but perhaps there is something that you are in a somewhat of a unique position to help me with.
Yeah.
And assuming we could sort this whole thing out, but you see, though they sort of gesture around, though I have my talents, I'm not much of a but there is something that I desire that. Well, it's under the city, somewhere beneath. I can feel it, but I'm not in a position myself to reach it. But you, well, if I understand correctly, it's not uncommon for you to be below the streets, and you have access to the underways of the city, unobstructed access.
I do.
They said, well, I could give you something to, if you are near the item that I seek, and I don't know precisely where it might be. I can simply sense it, but if you were ever to be in the vicinity, you could feel it too, and perhaps you could find it for me.
Chat
Yes.
would like to know if Bits would help with this.
Well,
Help Andy! Help Andy escape!
Yeah.
help Andy. Well, okay, so okay.
Do it. Do
No, I'm
it.
just trying to think. Okay, I need them out. So
Look at Andy's big eyes.
If we get some bits, then I have something that Rowan will give Andy should she accept the job or the.
Oh. Yeah, he's only kidding. You're on your own, Andy. By the same sounds of things.
You're mean.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Did we get?
Solo
we
says
get
he'll gift 5 subs and be at the top of that leaderboard for us. And but if he gifts 5 subs, doesn't he get something?
Well, yeah. If anyone who gives 5 subs, we're going to give a bonus, a sort of a back pocket bonus to a roll for you can nominate who you want to give the bonus to. We will give a D4, like a sort of a back pocket bless, to someone. But did we get bits for the?
We did not.
Okay, so Rowan says, well, that they sort of ask you to wait a moment, and the retrieve from under the counter there is this it's just a rough hewn it's like a rock, but it's
Thank you, Solo, for gifting 5 subs.
So thanks, Solo.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thanks, man.
Do you
Very
want
kind.
to give back pocket bless to
And
just nominate whoever?
never mind. Carry on.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Sorry.
Is when
I
so
just-
it wants
I just have to give a shout out to DB Gibson, who says, I just tried to click away the electronic dice to make them go away. It's been a long day.
Seems as though Solo is gifting to Dural, so Boyd.
Sure.
So
Cool.
make a note of that.
Okay.
Boyd's back pocket bless. That's going to be a new spell in one of our. So yeah, they produce this. I suppose it's like a piece. It's ore. You know, you're not sure what the mineral or the metal might be, but it's it's this sort of dark gunmetal gray, sort of lump of rock, and they've got it in a box, and it's a little silk lined box. So they hand it to you. They say, "This. I'm not asking anything more. If you carry this on your person, should it react, if you could follow the vibrations to where the ice, you'll know once you find it. And if you can find it and return it or retrieve it for me, then you have my
Then you'll
word that
Then you'll do
you'll have
this.
that off."
Okay, you have a deal. Okay, so she takes the box, very happy with herself, not having a clue what she's possibly just got herself into. How big is the lump of ore? Is it like a couple of inches long, or? Oh, so it's
Not that
about
big.
what, 2 inches in a kind of rough lump.
Yeah, you can put it in your pocket.
And
you know.
as she's looking at this and kind of like saying, I don't know how this is going to do it, but okay, whatever. How close do I have to get for this to start doing its vibrating thing?
Well,
You just gave her vibrator, by the way. I just realized.
Guys, there's so many jokes flying around in my head
Yeah.
right now. I'm just keeping
It's
myself
one
on
of the-
mute so I don't say
Yeah,
anything.
when you put it in your
I'm
pocket,
really
I
sorry.
almost lost it.
yeah, I'm
2-inch
I'm-
lump, really?
yeah in the back pocket. No, I have
So
to
we
say,
got
right?
we got a back pocket blast and a back pocket lump of
Yeah,
vibrating
but,
rock.
but
It's holy.
the thing-
Oh, dear.
the thing with yeah, and
Andy,
because
keep
it's
that
like
until later.
Yeah.
That's
well,
to
because
keep
it's
you warm
remote,
at night.
it's like one of those ones that they sell to couples where it's like, the one person has controlled the app, like the the love-ins.
Oh,
But
now
I
we're
looked-
into like
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
I heard an amazing word. I think I was I don't know what I was doing. I was on a call or something, and I saw this word. I saw the word as a new term to me. Amazing. I learned the term teledildonics, which is the I don't know the science of remote control sex toys.
I
Sounds
feel
like-
like I
it
know
sounds
who
like a
invented that.
Sounds like a subclass.
yeah, the
Like
school
cross
of
between
magic.
the cross between a,
guys,
a
we got
Scion
a
and a
hype
bard.
train coming.
We do have a hype train.
Woo, woo.
Ooh,
What does that
Choo-choo.
mean?
That means
hype train for the teledildonics.
That's
Great
what did it.
band.
that's what it was. Yeah, we're 83% to a hype train at the moment.
Awesome.
So if you can sub, gift, or use bits, we'll get to the next
Yep.
level.
Yeah, thanks for all your support.
I
everyone.
was during John's Cloaks game, the second session, there was a hype train. Apparently, I was the hype train conductor. Had no idea what it meant, but it felt fucking good. I got a little train next to my name. So
Apparently, Ben, you conduct many things.
yeah, just
At some point, somebody's going to have to explain how to do the whole bits thing and everything, because I haven't got a clue.
Yeah, me too. It's like another language to me.
I'm a Luddite.
It's actually
But,
really simple. It's really, really simple. If you check the channel, you
Ah.
should be. Oh, thank you, the stat for gifting another 100 bits. So that's great.
Oh, sweet.
Woo! 89%.
Thank you.
89% on the hype train.
So, Andy, this person, Rowan, is they give you this lodestone. The fact that it has the word load in it is now a decision I'm regretting. But it is
It feels like Humblewood. I swear.
LO.
Cumblewood?
Yeah, it gets pretty kind of dirty.
So,
on Humblewood.
so it has a D in it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LODE, a lodestone. So
I signed
yeah,
up for Lord of the Rings, not for Carry On Dungeons.
Yeah. So they
This
say
just
Carry on
reminds me
Dungeons
of that.
and Dragons.
This just reminds me of that meme where it's like every D&D party is one of two people, and it was like a picture of Lord of the Rings, and it was a picture of Monty Python.
Yeah.
And it is now
Yeah.
clear to me which we are.
Yeah, this isn't the D&D I signed up for. It's
Yeah,
a different
so-
kind of D&D.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. So they say that if you get within like it might
We just hit the hype train. Congratulations, everybody. Yes. I couldn't have planned that better. That was great. That's
Great
fantastic.
coordination. That should be like an Olympic sport. Coordinated hype train.
choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
So, who is the hype train
Coordinated-
conductor?
Yeah, Japan.
It was Solo.
the-
Solo tipped us
Oh,
over the
nice.
edge. Again,
yeah,
there's going to be no catching him, I swear to God, on that leaderboard
know.
for the gifted subs.
I know.
Oh wait, he tipped us over the edge.
Oh
did.
dear.
yeah. So they say that if it might go off, but if you get within about like 600 feet, also, I mean, you might, if you're within, like 1,000 feet, you might start to ping, and then I'm trying to avoid so many words here. But maybe like 600, then 300, then 100 feet, and they're sort of assuring you that it's like you'll know. And they say that it's like, it's not, I promise you, it's not anything harmful.
It seems, I'll carry this. Probably, I'll figure out something, and I will find what you're looking for, and then you will help me get this thing off. And happy all round.
Mhm.
When you call a prediction already, and that Andy's gonna find this, and the guy's just gonna cut her hand off.
This is yes, it's
So,
it's an interesting
and
development for both of us.
well, it's always a good day to make a new friend. But I'm gonna take this little rock, and I'm gonna get on that right away. So I've probably been here longer than I should be, and we need to keep this between us. Yeah, just between us two. No one else really needs to know.
Oh, cool.
Not even
they-
Brianna. She
You
she
never
doesn't
do.
need to know why exactly. Yeah. So
Mhm.
so I'll be in touch.
I hope so. They
And again,
lean over
the
and
lack of eye contact. She's not really sure if her winning smiles are doing anything for her.
yeah,
but
they sort of and they go to the door. They get the door for you to sort of like show you out of the shop. And as they go by, they sort of like smell like warm clay, almost like that. Like if you got like in school like modeling clay, and if it was in your hand, it's that like
Marla?
warm. It's kind of warm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of warm clay smell off of them. So, I don't think Andy would know, but in I suppose D&D mechanical terms, they have probably some manner of earth genasi. But they show you out.
so Andy, as discreetly as she can manage, not quite skipping her way, but she's definitely like one step closer. She's probably singing that. I don't know who. It's not
Yeah.
a Taylor Swift song,
And
but like
just just before, or as you're leaving, as you're making your way your way back, you notice there's this kind of looking at the edge, there's a bit of a gathering in an open green area, and there is standing there amongst a crowd of people with there's actually something you recognize, which is there's an older man there, and he's wearing livery, like noble garb, with a ball on the the breast of this doublet, and it is the House Helden, the sigil and the house of the young man whose body was found in low tide, that you went after. That's him, and there's a couple of other people milling about, and next to him is a man in a brown cloak, and he's wearing a captain's pin, much like, exactly like Captain Gondon Galloway's, your captain. So appears to be the captain of the Brown Cloaks in this upper class. There are 3 captains in the city, and this man standing there is like chiseled jaw, golden blonde hair.
We succeeded in another
back.
hype train. Just saying, sorry, Ben.
Nice.
Level 2 completed.
Level 2 hype train. Nice. It's gonna be another another spell.
Sorry for the delay.
That's 8 subs and 300 bits.
That's awesome.
That's really
Damn.
good.
So, yeah, this guy, million watt smile, just like each time, and he's seems to be giving some sort of public address. It's a little, it's a little far away. I'm not sure how close you want to get, but you can hear him being introduced by the nobleman, and he's saying, "Oh, well, welcome, Captain of the Brown Cloaks. You'll know him, young Captain Archibald Hastings." And if we get, and he starts clapping, and the crowd kind of gives, claps, and he steps up, and I said, this guy, broad-shouldered, tall, just this,
I'm definitely slipping into the sort of to mingle with the people around the back as I blend.
Yeah.
Don't know what
This
this
guy
symbol is supposed to be.
He's sword on his hip. He's there in his finery, and he's like, friends and citizens, of this great city. So thank you all coming out today and for sharing this glorious day with me. It's you're looking. It's pretty like a pretty average looking day outside. But there is a problem here in the city. Not everywhere in Mine Elm is quite so prosperous and resplendent as up here with the rest of us. I would seek to remedy that. Just a few weeks ago, Lord Heldon's son perished on the beaches of low tide, down in the dregs of the city, long gone ignored. Down there in the drains, as we so whimsically dubbed it. But there are people down there, good, honest, hard-working citizens of Minehelm, that have been left to rot in squalor and corruption. The commander of our great order, Commander Billiam Sharp, has been left gone, 100 years of age. Do we not think that it is time that we let this man, this great public servant, retire? I think it is time for a new commander of the Brown Cloaks, long overdue. And who is fit to take on this mantle? Certainly not Captain Galloway, who sits down there and allows the city to fester like a rancid boil, and all the trouble, all the misery that brings. And I am not here, I will not have it, that the people in the drains are beneath us. They are not. They are kith and kin to you and I. We are all brothers and sisters, children of Minehelm, of this great city. And so, I believe it is my duty to take Minehelm into my stewardship, as I have here for you good people, and that we shall see prosperity for all, not just the few. And he's, I will be rallying for donations for the good people of the drains. And, we have a collection going around, and I have now. Lord Heldon is going to say a few words, if you would permit him. But I will be returning to the barracks. We have much work to do, but please, citizens, you come and see me. My door is always open, and together, I believe, we can make Minehelm prosper. And he sort of, gives a wave, and he do his little speech, and everyone kind of gives him a clap, and people start talking amongst themselves as he's this golden-haired specimen of a man who's just been bad-mouthing Captain Galloway steps down.
Yeah,
He's kind of looking over the
bastard.
crowd.
Look, I don't like Captain Galloway, but what a frick. He can't talk about Galloway. He can't talk about my captain like that.
Yeah, and this is the other thing,
not
that the
gonna do
commander of
anything
the
about
Brown
it.
Cloaks.
But she keeps that to
The
herself.
commander of the
She
Brown
doesn't-
Cloaks. Yeah, the commander of the Brown Cloaks is like over 100 years old, and there's been like, so once he dies, there's going to be an election, and there's the three captains. There's Galloway down in the drains, in the sort of more middle class area of the city is Captain Isabeth Bennett, and then there is Archibald Hastings. So clearly someone is getting their election campaign going. Now it's the commander is chosen from amongst the Brown Cloaks. It's not like the public will vote, but
Lestat says, almost thought Ben would say, make Minehelm great again.
wow. That is no. This
No,
blonde man is
just no.
is much more attractive than that blonde man.
The orange pumpkin man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but with but with that assuming, as you say, Andy's not chasing this guy down or anything.
No, she just kind of morphs back out of the crowd and sets about getting back to the barracks, but all the while in her head she's cursing the dude, because she's like, I can't believe you're saying that about Galloway. That's my captain.
Yeah.
I don't even like the guy, and I'd stab him if I could, but he
Yeah,
shouldn't
he'd be
talking
mine to stab.
He's mine to stab, he's my captain. He shouldn't be talking about him tosser with his blonde hair and his two good looks, and his like, oh, I'm so great. And this is her inner monologue as she goes back to the barracks with her with her love rock.
Love Rock, nice. Love Rock, the #1 single by the Teledildonics. Pouches.
Wow.
I love it.
So during your time off, I believe that. Oh, actually, sorry. Before we get to that, for your work with the middlemen, will you roll me 5d10 plus 20?
Okay. Let's see if I can do this. /roll 5d10 plus 20. A total of 48.
Oh, 48 gold pieces. It was a prosperous, 3 weeks of working with them. But I believe Pouches had taken a notion to go see Lord Puddle.
He had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you are, on one of your, some of your time off when you're not on duty, you have gone to see Lord Puddle. He's there in his usual chambers, he rarely leaves his bed.
He washes himself with a rag and a stick.
Rag on a stick.
Yeah.
Comes in with his, pudgy, beckons you in with his sausage fingers and, come in, Pouches, my boy.
So I've kind of gone like, to get there, I've kind of gone like, oh yeah, I'm just going out in my cloak, walk down the street, slip into an alley, like cloak off, shoved in a bin, gone into the sewers, come up somewhere else, gone to like three people's houses in the sewers again.
Mm-hmm. So exactly. Yeah, and he's come in, my boy.
And as part of that whole thing, for the first time, I will make use of my first second level spell, and I will cast invisibility on myself at one point during that.
Oh, awesome.
Why do I always
Yeah.
get nervous during your turn in this game? I don't know why. I'm not even there, but I'm nervous.
Yeah, you're not even. Yeah, you're quite possibly on an
It's-
island in the middle of the ocean in Lorky.
I know, but I can feel the hairs on the back of my neck just stand up when I'm just like,
It's your motherly instincts.
my spidey senses are tingling right
Yeah.
It's like Pouches is doing something stupid.
now. Yeah,
Because he's talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
he's breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Puddle, Lord Puddle is said you to is calling you in.
I walk into his chamber and I say, "Well, it looks like the information brokering business is still going well."
Oh well, it keeps me in the lifestyle that I've become accustomed to. Tell me, how are you?
I kind of chuckle and I say, I remember when you were starting out and you were half the man you are now. And just kind of give him a bit of a wink.
Yes, still quite a man.
I laugh
Now-
loudly at that.
Yeah, now it's never good when you come to see me. Pouches, what mischief have you gotten yourself into? What must I pull you out of now?
I was always your favorite. I kept your life interesting, even when I was young.
Yes.
Um,
Well, come.
You're clearly not getting enough exercise without me around. And at that, I'll take a seat in the chamber and I'll say, "No,
Yeah.
nothing, no trouble this time. Just some reminiscing." With all the talk of the Black Cloak and what happened with my parents, it's dredged up old memories. I mean, even the little you told me about my childhood, it leaves too many unanswered questions for me.
Well, you can take it from a man, Pouches, who has spent a lot of his years in the past. When you deal with in secrets, then invariably you deal with the dark, dirty history of people. I would put more stock in the future. And, well, though I'm sure it would always be a burden, cause you pain. What happened with your parents is in the past, and, well, in the present, you have your sister. Andy. Yeah. Something of a, you can find family and friends and other
Is
other
he
people.
implying my
I never knew.
sister's Andy?
No. He's saying other people. He's like, and who knows? Perhaps we'll see little pouchlings in the future. Who knows?
Pouchlings.
The future, my boy. Don't.
He's not trying to
Don't
set
allow
Andy
your-
up with pouches, is he?
No. He's just saying, just genuinely, it's like in the present you have, there are.
And can I just say that DB Gibson said in chat, "I cast detect cholesterol," which I found fucking hilarious.
He's he's saying, well, look, is there, it is true, it's more than just rumors, I think, about the Black Cloak. I have at least one source that I trust who says he's on the move. There are things going on in the city, and more importantly beneath it, that trouble me, I must say. It's strange times, and I've been around a long time.
You say strange, I say interesting. But I do find it laughable that a man who deals in the past is telling me to look to the future.
Well,
The past is always far more interesting to me.
do you want to end up like me, Pouches?
Well, wealthy and Meinhelm is always an achievement.
Yeah. But the future.
You have never had trouble with power, my friend.
But if I hadn't looked to the future, I could never have built this. I could never have helped you or other children like you.
Sorry, I just saw DB Gibson's comment and I couldn't help myself. He said more like a man who deals in pasta.
I deal with the pasta.
And I was just like,
yeah.
It caught me off guard.
He said, but you were when your mother brought you to me, it broke my heart. But it wouldn't have done to dwell on what was. We had to think about your future. This is what you need to hold on to. If you're going to spend your life in the past or not.
At that point, I'm going to just chant a few little magic words. And I'm going to create my mage hand above my own, and I'm just going to like play with it. And have it like just, and be like, I think my power will ensure the future. It's time those who fear magic learn truly why they should.
Oh, I would chastise you for your ambition, Pouches, but I would be chastising myself.
Sometimes you have to change the city in interesting ways.
And he kind of gestures around at at Lord Puddles, at his palace, the Palace of Whispering Water, and the sort of, all his orphan spies and, his network. Ain't that the truth? Well, I believe
you've carved out a piece of Meinhelm for yourself, and I think one day I'll do the same. And maybe in the process there'll be a little bit of vengeance.
He gets a little sort of more serious at that. Well, careful you don't break your sister's heart in the endeavor.
She's probably the only one I would worry about. And you, of course, my friend.
What can I say? I'm flattered, privileged, honored. Now, I apologize, my dear boy, but I am expecting a guest.
Always in demand, aren't you?
One that whose company I would not relish as much as yours, but one who has coin and secrets.
Your true mistresses.
Yes. Now, come back to me when you've
acquired their touch.
Discovered the your little side project. Now, I'm afraid. Go, leave me. Leave me.
I'm just gonna lounge. Bow and as I stand up, I'm going to just mutter the words, and I'm going to cast invisibility again on myself. And I want to do it Cheshire Cat style. So like the last piece of me that disappears is the smile, and then I will leave the Palace of Whispers.
Yeah. he shakes his head. And so after all this, in your pursuit of I'm not sure how much excuse me, I don't want to give too much away as to what you're pursuing or researching, but
I trust this group not to metagame.
Well, in your in your search for, quite a feat that it would be to it's just actually a bit of context for those who aren't aware. In the setting in this world, elves who are outside of their homeland must wear something called a Shanri necklace in order to essentially maintain their their elven longevity. If they were to not wear it, they would begin to age at a sort of a human rate, and if it is destroyed, if they can't get a replacement, this is something that every elf is given at birth. So if they are to travel outside of their homeland, they must keep it on them to sort of maintain their powers. But it was not always this way. There was something eons ago that has basically caused this, this magical effect that they are sort of diminished outside of their homeland. And Pouches, being a half elf, for his own reasons, is very interested in trying to reverse this effect, which would is quite a magical feat, and is constantly on the lookout for anything that might help him do that. So, to that end, in the few weeks that we're covering here, you do manage to get access to. There's an old mage, just simply known as Sven, but with an F instead of a V. A human mage who is he's quite difficult to get an appointment.
That
with.
just makes me think about How I Met Your Mother. We are Sven.
Yeah. But this guy, he's leaving Minehelm, and so you'd heard word he was like selling, books and selling off stuff. He's getting out of Dodge. And as you you come to his quarters, it's pretty bare around, the shelves. There's not many books around, but he he's invited you in. He's wearing this sort of very dark red robe, and he's packing up, and he's sort of just master of house to himself, half to you. He's like packing some things away, and he's like, I'm telling you, strange things going on in the city. I'd get out if I were you. He's sort of packing away. He's like, but he's like, after you sort of, he's like, what sort of thing are you looking for? There's not much left, but sort of like a car boot sale, He's looking around, but is it I don't, what sort of thing, something about, kind of looks at you, and he does a little magic. You see him cast something, and yes, and you're not entirely sure, but you think he might have read your surface thoughts.
Okay.
He's like, this is it's slim pickings. He's like, but this it's probably the closest thing I've got. He's like, but you can take it. He's like, I don't feel right. Most of the good stuff's gone anyway, and I don't really feel right gouging a young mage. But maybe some of the information in there will be broadly useful. when you're looking at it, it's a book about generally about it's kind of about powerful magical seals. It's very small. It seems almost like more of like a folk tale, like storybook, but it is a dark red leather cover, and there's no info about Shanri necklaces, but it seems like half like storybook, and it's concerned with the like a tale, or it's quite an old book about seven generals. It calls them seven these, infernal beings that if to write their name, on parchment with the words, would immediately, burst into flame and turn to ash. The seven unknowable generals of something that the book calls the God Fiend, who is supposedly lay sealed beneath Minehelm. It's this sort of very grandiose book. And actually, as you're just going through it, you give me a history check.
Cool. History. I'm actually decent at that. Natural one for a 7.
Oh.
It's not. It's very It's just, it kind of catches you off guard. You're quite drawn into the story, but you're thinking about, the last time you were down in the sewers, and there was tremors, and it was kind of spooky down there. So it's a little unsettling, and it's difficult to write off as just a story, But yeah, and this that the old mage Sven is, mostly done, packing up.
Does he have anything else there that I might be interested in?
It's little, like, it's mostly just book. It's mostly books, but there is there
I'm a wizard.
is,
Books have spells in them.
There's a basic treatise of conjuration is still left there, and there's actually like an old notebook that does have it still has one spell in it. Let me just, oh god, why is this being slow? I know, hang on. What I'm gonna do, open the player's handbook to a random. Okay, there's no first level spells on there.
Just go to the wizard spell list and take your pick.
There is, it's got dissonant whispers on it.
I gotta refresh my memory on what dissonant whispers does.
It's mostly it's just psychic damage. And
how much does he want for that?
Let's see. He says if you give him 100 gold.
Oof. I'll say that's maybe a bit rich for my blood grandfather.
Well, I can't let that one go for free, unfortunately.
I'll say I could maybe do 50.
You can try persuasion.
And when he kind of goes, I'll go 50 in a favor.
not going to be in town.
You never know who you meet on the road. Ten. Woo.
He says, "No, look, I'm sorry." He's kind of hurrying now. He's like, "It's yeah." He started packing away. He's about to he's got the book. He's gonna kind of put it into a satchel. He's like, "Why?"
No, I'll say to him, no hard feelings.
Yeah, I know. He's
And I'll kind of just give him a handshake and be like, may your road be safe wherever you choose to be.
Well, stay safe, young wizard. Strange things.
I'll just say, and I'll speak in Scratch, and I'll say, the pursuit of magic is far from safe.
Yeah, he sort of snorts a laugh, and with that, we come to Doril. And Doril, just before everything else, 4 prize fight that you're engaged in, during that 3 weeks. Will you roll me 4d10 plus 20, please?
Sure. Ooh, a lot of ones.
Oh, yeah, so 40 gold pieces is the purse.
Okay.
And you one day after you show up early for training as you normally do, and there's no lanterns lit in the kind of the gym. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, there's nothing. No lanterns lit. It's dark. Dust motes are kind of floating in the dawn rays of sunlight coming through the few windows. You're looking around. There's no sign of Garrus, your master, the trainer. And then give me a perception check.
Sure. A 19.
Yeah. Behind, because there's a ring, sort of in the middle. And as you come in, it's because it's still, your eyes kind of adjust, even with dark vision going from very bright to the dark room. You see the place is wrecked. There's a massive hole in the floor. At the door, there is a column, a wooden column, a pillar is just smashed completely in two. There are holes in the walls. The furniture is just destroyed. And you see a boot, like a leg, sticking out from behind the ring.
I immediately run over there and see if I can help someone.
Yeah, you
Is there a leg
round the
attached to it?
corner. No, you'd see like a leg thing, and Doral rounds the corner, and you see laying there, bruised, bloodied, and broken, is your master, Garrus. He does not appear to be breathing.
Can I perform some sort of medicine check on him? Can I?
Yeah.
I've been fixed in the corner a bunch of times. Maybe there's something I can do for this guy.
Yeah, give me medicine.
An 11.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. Why is that? Oh, sorry, guys, I didn't have it. No. You.
Chat was just saying that the music was right for his situation. Just so you know.
Yeah, Joel, you kind of, tap his face a bit, and you're not really sure, but heart beating in your chest, hands sweating, if he's not responding, you put your finger up behind his ear on his hand, and your master, Gareth Goldmill, has no pulse. He's dead.
I just sort of break down and fall to my knees.
Yeah.
Is there nothing I can do for this guy?
And with that, there's you hear like a shuffling, and there's a guy, old human, small and shriveled white hair, and he's like, don't look, boy. Don't look. He's like, there's cloaks on the way. I just found him, and this guy. He's just, his name's Dick. I don't know why I chose that name, but he like cleans up. He's kind of janitor. He helps Garros out. He's clearly been crying.
What happened?
I didn't want to. I arrived here this morning, and it was like this. And he's like, says, something seems to like have struck him. Like he's just suddenly remembered something.
Oh.
And he kind of, hold on just one moment. And he runs to his own kind of like quarters. He takes a few minutes. He comes out, and he's holding a crumpled letter. He's looking at it. He's like, I didn't think that. And he holds it out to you, and he says, Garros said that. Sorry, what the fuck is this? Not
Dick, this better have a long-winded explanation on what the hell's going on here.
He said, he said if he died, I was supposed to give you this. I didn't.
Wait, there must be some. How long ago did this happen?
This morning, I was talking to him yesterday before I went home.
And when you came here this morning, this place was like this, and he was down there, and you've called the Cloaks, right?
Yeah.
I just sort of breathe and rub my temples and look away.
Mm-hmm. He's kind of looking at the letter, they're kind of looking around, and he's trying not to look at Garros.
Take it off him and sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And attempt to read it.
You open the letter. It says, if you're reading this, then I'm gone. Sorry. I'm deeply sorry that I could not tell you the whole truth before my time came, Doral. You were my finest apprentice, the only one who I knew would be worthy. And that is why I write this letter. I chose you. I know you will make me proud.
There's just
There's
a rhythmic
something
tapping as pieces of moisture start hitting this piece of parchment.
He's like, there is something which belongs to you now, which you will have to retrieve. The instructions for which are on the back of this letter. But before that, one final word. A warning. The one who did this, I will not give you his name, for I do not wish you to seek him out. But should he come for you, you must be prepared and know his mark a Goliath with markings red as fresh blood. This is the man who's killed me. A man I once called brother. When the time is right, more shall be revealed. I regret only that I cannot share it with you myself, as my master did for me. That I will not see you grow into the warrior that I know you will become. Goodbye, Doril. Do not weep for me. The earth beckons, and I return to her gladly. And on the reverse, there's more instructions.
He's just shocked. Just turns the letter over a couple of times. Shakes his head.
After things are sort of, cleared up, cloaks have been in, red cloaks. It's pretty obvious, particularly to you. I mean, the look of this place, Garrus would have gone down, with a fight. It's obviously some almighty fight that's happened here, but after some inspection, you see that his spine is in two. His back was broken, and on the reverse of the letter, it goes on to explain there's something that is yours that you should retrieve, and assuming you were to go there, it is in an abandoned mill in the drains, like on the on this sort of old mill house building.
I empty out my pockets. I think I have about let me see. What have I got? 113 gold, and I put it in the Dick's hand, and I say, just make sure he gets buried. At least you'll be there for it.
Yeah.
And I leave with a scrap of paper.
Oh, yeah. So when you make your way, there is, in this old, it's just completely bare. There's a sort of a rough flagstone floor, and the instructions say, where there's a little marking. It points out one of the flagstones. It says whatever it is, it's beneath the flagstone, and there's a sledgehammer in the corner, just leaned against the wall.
I look around for a moment. Weird. And I grab it, and I try and strike this flagstone.
Give me a strength check.
Strength check?
Yeah, with advantage.
Okay. And I will add my random 1d4 that I got earlier.
Yeah.
Every little helps. 10.
So there's kind of, you like bring up the sledgehammer, and it's just like, kind of like, you like, shout as you like bring it down, but it like just touches off the stone, because as soon as you bring it down, there's just a scream turns into just a sob, and there's just all the strength goes out of your arm as you just hit the ground. And then you think some of the words from the letter kind of flash in your mind. You bring it up again, and you swing, and it's hits the stone, and you see it cracks a bit, and then you breathe in, and you sort of remember when you first came to Garrus and first trained you, and you have a flashback of the first time he was holding up a side of beef that you're punching into, and you remember that first punch, and it hurt, but you felt strong. You felt like a hero, punching it, and it hurt. But Garros, he bandaged your hand up. He told you, "Don't worry, boy. It'll heal. And when it heals, it'll be stronger." And then you find the strength, possibly from a D4, and bring the hammer down, both hands. And like John Wick himself, you crack open the stone floor and rubble goes everywhere. Sitting in there is a lead box. It's quite big. It's like, probably maybe 2.5, 3 foot across, 1.5 foot wide.
Fighting every instinct I have as a D&D player, I reach out and opened it.
Inside, bizarrely, is a belt. Brown leather, a big sort of silver, an iron, like around. It's like concentric circles with a little, looks like onyx stone in the center.
And does it look like it could go around my waist? Is it that type of belt?
Yeah. It looks kind of like a championship belt,
Ooh. Weird that the old man gave me his belt. Maybe I'll try it on. And I buckle it around my waist. And
as you buckle it, you feel that it almost kind of like snugs itself, secures itself. It's kind of a moment of shock where it seems to like fit itself to you.
There's a moment of instant recognition.
Like,
I've seen this described in lots of different books when different adventurers pick up weapons and pieces of armor.
And you feel for just a brief second like you can feel the earth beneath you. You feel everything. You feel 1,000 footsteps from all around you, like feeling the vibrations through the earth. It's like, and for a second, and all the dust in the mill lifts off the ground. And it's like, and you feel it. You feel your right hand. Is Doral right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
You feel your right hand, like as if it instinctively wants to pull the dust to it.
I turn my hand around and bring it down.
As you do, you feel elemental earth, sand, earth, dust particles seem to just coalesce around your fist, and Doral is standing there and suddenly clenches, and his hand becomes just a giant rock fist. Just in his hand, and as you do it, you get a flash. In your mind, you see a desert in your mind. And you see, just for a brief second, you see 2 men like throwing punches at each other. Each of them has one just bare hand, and the other is wrapped in coiled rope, like a boxing glove, and they're going at each other, and then it, the thing stops.
I attempt to flex my fingers. Does it move?
Yeah, it's like big rock hand.
Punch my hands together. Crazy old bastard.
Yeah. You feel him there for a moment. You're almost sure it's him.
I'll make you proud.
And with that, with Doral now in possession of the Titan hand belt, he has obtained his subclass for level 3. With that,
awesome.
Navani.
Yes.
I believe you want to go visit Andy.
Yes, I do. So I suppose on the day that Archie was in the training grounds that evening, I as I said, I'm not sure if there's a door to her bunk.
There would be to, she doesn't have her own like private room,
Okay.
but
So we're just gonna knock on the door. I'm assuming Andy's there.
A very sleepy teenage, that teenage style sleepiness is going to pop out from under a blanket and go,
So I go, do you remember when we had the cat situation recently? With the what were they called again? The
Grimishkas. My kitty.
Yeah, remember how I smashed that thing into smithereens with my Warhammer?
Yeah.
When you mention the word Grimishka, you hear from down the hall like, like someone's just like having a nightmare all of a sudden.
Yeah, but why are you bringing? Why would you bring that up again?
Okay. Well, I kind of felt bad about smashing his brains against the cobblestones.
Can anyone remember what I called it? Was it
soot?
Soot. Yeah. Soot. Yeah. You smashed up soot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of felt bad about that. So I got you this, and then I produce a little ginger kitten. And I hand it over to Andy, and I say, I don't think this one has any like weird magical effects, and I haven't named it yet. Not sure what it is, a girl or a boy. You'll have to figure that one out for yourself. But this is just my way of saying I'm sorry. But
she grabs the kitten off you, and then she goes like, Ember.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. Ember.
No problem. And then I just walk out. I don't hang around. I just walk out. Yeah.
Nice. And the before, and I suppose and after, between all this cat recovery, this Vani had been spending a lot of time back at Lawkeep. I think the first kind of few weeks in the Cloaks it was tough, She's with Lawkeep, for a number of years, and had begun to feel like home, and it's what she wanted to dedicate her life to, and being away from it was difficult. So she had been returning, and but again, like before, in being immersed in her training rather rigorously, and in both martial pursuits and magical pursuits now more so, but for that training, Navani has a point of inspiration if she didn't have one already.
I used it last time, I think.
Yeah, and also in that practice of magical rites, you've gotten another vial of holy water.
Sweet.
To use as you see fit. While you're there, you actually see the judge magister that you encountered before, Yarnold Mornstar. You found the ring that belonged to an old judge magister of Lawkeep. He gives you a couple of curt nods. He seems to be kind of almost intentionally not acknowledging you. Kind of like gives you a few nods. He's not like rude or anything, but he was quite personable before. But
yeah, I don't pay any heed to him. I'm kind of like as a paladin, I suppose I'm kind of worshipping because I am like the arbiter of Arcanus, I believe. So but at this stage I want to visit Cordelia Hawkmore, who's my mentor, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just want to see her for a while and have a chat.
Yeah. So she is she is, where's my note? Sorry about that. Cordelia Hawkmore is sort of graying brown hair, you know. She's older. She's, you know, since you think about early 50s, although you wouldn't dare ask her. You know, she's not a she's a private woman, you know. And she you know, you've been training more with her, and one day she's called you, the two of you have arranged to meet, and you had gone just to, you know, seek her counsel and, you know, on a particular piece of law and magical knowledge that you were researching at the time. And she says that she's actually had been looking for you.
How can I help, lady?
Well, says that if you could meet me in my chambers tonight after sunset.
Okay.
There's something of importance. Yes, I know. I'm not that kind of professor.
More love rocks, right?
Yeah. She knows. She says it's important.
Okay.
Concerns your training.
Okay, well, that's definitely piqued my interest. So I imagine that I go to her chambers.
Yep. So, you know, sunset comes, you know, night. There's still quite a lot of the library is in Lawkeep is just, you know, open at all times, 24 hours. And she take you in. There's like a little altar in all of the chambers of the arbiters, you know, and she has sort of brought you in there, and she looks uncomfortable, you know. She's a very stiff woman, you know. She's I understand. Well, you understand that you are a brown cloak now, but it is, I understand, not permanent, and I've got out of my way to make adjustments for you. You have potential, and it's unusual to you see, Navani, you'll make a fine arbiter. I think you could be a judge magister, and you would serve Lawkeep well, serve the people well. But with this, things are uncertain. I don't know how to... You mustn't tell anyone that I've done this. But in case... I would like you to take your oath now, tonight. The oath of the arbiter.
Why so soon and in secret?
There are strange... I sense things. Strange things, dark things.
Okay.
And I need... Down there beneath the city, I feel you might need all the help that you can get.
Well, from what I've seen so far, I don't think you're wrong. And I'll gladly accept this. And I won't tell anyone about it.
You won't officially be an arbiter of Lawkeep. If you... But I think... I have to hope that Solastra is watching and that she understands.
If you feel
Yes.
it is right for me to have this, I trust you completely, and I will do as you ask.
She has the warhammer. She takes a warhammer. She asks you to hold the handle of the warhammer. And she places her hands on the top. And she begins chanting in Celestial. It's roughly translates to something to Light of Celastra, shine upon her servants. We are the hammer, we are the ray of Celastra, we are the hammer of the light. This is the thing, and you say your name, you pledge yourself to Celastra, you repeat the words in Celestial, and Cordelia, Arbiter Hawkmoor, casts ceremony spell, and ritual takes place. And with your oath undertaken, you attain your subclass.
Cool.
You feel a surge. You have taken the oath of the Arbiters of Lawkeep, swearing to root out evil mages and those that would abuse magic. Come down. You are the hammer of Celastra.
At this point, I just look at her and I grab her hand,
She looks,
which
Oh,
is
yeah, sorry.
probably not a customary thing to do, and I just say thank you.
Yeah, you're shocked that she doesn't pull away.
Yeah.
She's not even looking at you. She looks guilty.
Yeah. Well,
She
yeah, I mean,
she says it's trainings. You'd best get to bed. It's early start tomorrow. What's to do?
Yes, lady. And I just walk out and I go to bed and prepare myself for going back to the Brown Cloaks.
Yep.
That's
And
me.
back with the Brown Cloaks. Navani. Vorden. Oh, sorry. The very, very sorrowful music is still playing. Vorden. Also, on the day that Andy received a cat, where Archie Brickman was inducted into the Brown Cloaks, I believe. So you see Dag and Tam sort of giving him the eye as Navani goes over, and they look like they want to start something.
Yeah, I see this young, fresh guy Archie, and I can see maybe so many struggles coming his way, and I see some of my younger self in him, or he maybe just reflects memories that I'd maybe forgotten a little bit, and my kind of heart sinks a bit. And as I see those two guys kind of I guess honing in on him, Vorden will sort of approach them, and he kind of he goes up with his bottle of wine that he so subtly hides inside his smelly cloak, and he takes a sip, and he's not drunk, but he sort of pretends to be inebriated, and he walks up to these two and he starts shouting, Clarice, there you are, Clarice. Yes, I've been searching for you. And he puts his arms around, what's the name of the sort of the one who thinks he's really tough and the kind of leader of the two?
Dag.
Dag, yeah, he says, Clarice, yes. I just wanted to say that, well, you left something of an impression when we met the other day. And, oh, yes, and... and as he's doing this, he's kind of like trying to distract him with his words while he sort of like pours some of the wine down on their boots as if he's doing it while he's drunk and inebriated. Although he's trying to just mask that he's actually doing something else. It's kind of a distraction. And it kind of like stuff starts to pool around their feet.
Does Vorden know exactly what he's doing, or is this instinctual?
He doesn't. He's just trying to sort of distract these guys from Archie.
Yeah.
So that maybe like give Archie a way to kind of escape.
Oh yeah.
Because they were kind of coming for him.
I see what you mean.
But something may happen unintentionally while he's doing this.
So I see what you mean. So you're pouring out. Yeah.
Am I still like helping Archie at this time though? Am I still like trading him?
Yeah. But I think Vorden is just sort of.
Oh yeah, he's clapped. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Vorden is just kind of going up like messing with
They're kind of just distracting them in a way.
Yeah.
Just kind of like just taking their attention away from Archie.
Yeah, because like he saw the glower that Navani gave to them, and he took that as a cue to kind of just go for it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And he's coming over and he's like, and he pours, and it's like, Vorden, you're like pouring the stuff, and you're like, you're imagining like these pricks, fucking walking off and sleeping there like fuck, and Dag is like fucking you fucking old pisshead, and he kind of like goes to like push you, but then as you're pouring, suddenly not just him but Tam as well, they just like slip, like just slip and go fucking flying as if the ground beneath them like just turned into a river. Like it's kind of like shocks you, but in Nirvana you see that like the corner of your eye, and you see the mud underneath them like sort of change color and go kind of slick, like more slick than it was.
I immediately
and they just like get flung onto their ass.
I immediately look around for pouches. I feel like it's pouches.
Pouches isn't anywhere in sight.
Okay, all right. I just
you don't even think he showed up to training.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, someone like pouches.
So I see them falling on their arse, and I burst out laughing.
Gotta maintain that solid 9 strength score.
I go to kind of help Dabs up, and as I kind of like half pull him up, I kind of like my eyes go wide and I go, "You're not Clarice. You're much too ugly," and let go of him, and he hits the ground again.
Yeah. He's like he's like fucking raging. He's like trying to get up, and he keeps slipping. He's like fighting everyone. Like at this point, everyone is just like fucking, bursting out laughing at him.
And Vorden kind of then sort of like kind of stumbles back to where he was, off to the kind of corner. And as he goes by, it turns to Archie and gives him kind of like a wink, and then just kind of continues on.
Yeah. As you go, you're like walking on, like just all of a sudden you just get a splitting headache.
Oh no.
Or just doubled over, like it just takes you to your knees, and like you see Vorden just like collapses onto his knees, like clutching his head.
Nothing's hit him or anything, right?
Nothing around him. Your head is burning, Vorden, as well. It's like as if you had a fever, you feel hot like all over.
Well, I run over to him. Are you okay? What's wrong? Can I do like a medicine check or something?
Yeah.
I've lost my page. Sorry. What'd I get? An 18. I rolled. Oh wait, no. 3. Never mind. I lost my my roll 20 there.
Yeah. No. it's really difficult. And you're not like you're like what's going on, and just sort of in desperation. And then now, because it's just you always have it prepared as part of your oath, just kind of instinctively you're like, it's kind of weird. You can't see any like wounds or anything. You don't know what the fuck is up with him, so you just cast detect magic to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, if this is pouches, I'm gonna fucking kill it.
Yeah.
But,
usually my go-to first response.
Yeah. But where Dag and Tam are, the patch of like slick, shiny, mud where they were standing there's magic like coming off of it. So it seems that a spell was cast in their area.
Okay. Oh, I don't have dispel magic or anything like that.
Vorden's
No.
kind of like just like I
But
don't. He's just so overcome with the pain that he can't respond.
and there's like a brief, like as Vorden is like doubling, he's clutching his head and he's trying to speak. There's like a brief. You see the magic emanating from there is like there, and it's gone, and it's back, and it's like it's flickering.
Okay. Well, obviously this isn't good. So like I try and help him up, and
It starts to subside as Vorden, as Navani's helping you up, starts to dissipate.
what was that? What is this?
Navani, thank you. I don't know. Sometimes I get these really bad headaches. I think it's that wine. It's really strong stuff. I only had a few sips. Normally I can take it more than that.
Yeah,
I've
seen that. I've seen that before. Might be worth maybe just taking it easy on the wine.
Yes,
No?
I think you're right. I think I will. And he kind of like just pours it out into the ground. There's about half a bottle left, which is very unlike Vorden. He likes his bottle of wine. And this is what was left of the really good bottle he found down the sewers ages ago. And he kind of just sort of tosses the bottle to the side. Yes. And he's kind of worried.
Okay, you're okay to carry on now, yeah?
Yeah, yes, after your help, I think I'm okay. Again, thank you. I think I just need a little bit of sleep, and I should be okay.
Okay, cool. Right, I'm gonna go back to Archie and keep helping Archie with his moves and everything.
You actually, speaking of sleep, Vorden, you, much like before, after this incident, you've been plagued by nightmares, and nightmares of heat and blood and a man in an iron mask, featureless iron mask, cutting people down, a village on fire. And in these dreams, whereas before it was very purely passive, so you see this man in the iron mask in front of you, and almost like lucid dreaming, you find yourself gaining a modicum of control, and suddenly you're swinging a sword, but then you throw up your hand as to almost to block an attack, and you feel something shoot from your hand, like some kind of a burst of arcane energy out of your hand, and it's this very strange sensation, and feel something surging through you. And over the next the next days and weeks, you've been kind of practicing in your own time. You've been slipping away actually out of the city, and sort of a little bit away into the countryside. And you've been getting flashes of something, and for reasons you cannot explain. Sometimes accompanied by headaches, sometimes not. you're casting magic, where in your recollection you were never able to do that before. And as this is coming to you, these flashes of magic, you've been seeing in the dreams, you've been seeing somebody. They don't have a face. It's just a completely, it's almost like they're like a void, just like pitch black, there's this shadow. But like the Cheshire Cat, they just, this shadow with a wide, a bright, winning smile, but like, when someone's eyes are sort of, someone's smiling but their eyes aren't smiling, or where there's like nothing behind someone's eyes. It's like that, but for a smile. It's this very pleasant smile, but something about it chills you. But this is these things, the dreams are coming into focus a bit more, or the nightmares, I should say. All the edges are sharpening just a little, and magic is, it feels very familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. But yeah, this is, I don't actually know. Apologies, I went to check before, because I don't actually know what spells Vorden may or may not be able to cast, because I didn't want to go into too much detail. We may let those be revealed as he casts them. So now that with Vorden's sort of strange, magical puberty episode, there is one more thing. So to represent, obviously, just quite a long few weeks, there was many things going on. So something I'd like to do for chat to participate in is, during this downtime, I've made a D20 table of random downtime events, some good, some bad. So everyone's going to roll, but everyone is also going to roll for just like random gold that they picked up, just loot from missions. So we can do that first. And obviously, if somebody wants to, if somebody gifts a sub, then they can, someone will get a re-roll, and they'll get a bit more gold. We're going to do the gold first, and then I'm going to do the random events, and just other things that happen during the 3 weeks. So I'm just going to go in the same order that I did the hit dice at the start, or the level up at the start of the stream. So obviously everyone's going to get 3 gold pieces for 3 weeks' wages. I suppose we don't need to do it in order, but if everyone roll, it's 2d12 plus 4. 2d12 plus 4. Okay, Navani, you picked up 21 gold pieces.
So 21 plus 4, right? Because I didn't have the 4 on there.
And plus
Yeah.
3 from
Yeah.
your
So
wages.
24.
Nice. Ooh.
Tram was too busy with the smugglers.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the plus? It was
4.
2d12 plus 4.
4. Yeah.
Plus 4.
So 24 for me.
So, yeah, is that everyone? Cool. Actually, and everyone just roll 1 more d12 each. This isn't for gold. Oh, nice. Vorden, in the on one of your missions, where you kind of you took out some thugs, some butcher thugs. One of them had a potion of healing on them.
Thank you,
So if any of
Solo,
you
for
rolled a
giving
12.
2 more subs, or how many subs is
Ooh.
that? Sorry. Yeah, 2
2.
more tier 1 subs. Thank you very much.
Oh, sweet. So.
And thanks for
someone-
the
or
sub,
2 of you,
DM
I suppose.
Disaster.
Oh, wow. Thank you, DM
Okay.
Disaster.
So that's 3. That's more gold, presumably, possibly. Or, well, not possibly. You're definitely gonna. So I don't know who's gonna get those gold rolls. Seems like we've got 3 to
Warden.
give out.
No, DM Disaster just subscribed. He didn't gift a sub.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry. Oh, a sub. He subscribed. Well, either way, thanks very much, DM Disaster. That's still, we like to see it. Thanks very much. Hope you're enjoying the stream.
Never mind. Carry on.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No.
I
So,
realized I'm
yeah,
talking without my mic while I was muted. I was saying surely Vorden should still get another D12 for that, even though it was a sub. It was still pretty cool.
Well, I think DM
Solo gifted
Disaster's
too, eh?
sub came from Solo gifting him a sub.
Yes, that's right.
Awesome.
Ah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. But
It
for
happens to
I
me
mean,
all the
Solo-
time.
Yeah, but Solo obviously
We're
with
that
those 2
big
subs,
now.
somebody's gonna get another loot roll.
I think Vorden
I-
need. Oh, a lit roll now. I need gold, but that's okay.
I was going to say poor Durrell had a rough a couple of weeks.
He
maybe
did.
Yeah.
maybe you should
Yeah, but
let's-
I very much doubt that Durrell's going to get higher than a 10 or a 12.
He might.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
So is Solo? Are we giving it to Joril and Warden?
One
one
each.
to Durrell and one
One-
to Warden.
Yeah, so 1 to each of you.
Ah, that's very kind
Okay.
of you. Thank you.
Okay. So just do a D12.
And is this for gold or loot? Sorry.
Sorry, gold. A D12.
Hey!
Wow, Durrell.
Nice, Durrell.
Nice.
You know,
Oh,
I was
wow.
wrong on how you couldn't improve on an 11.
Yeah.
Okay, but that is 12. So another 12. Yeah, it's a bit extra gold. And now, will each of you roll me a D20?
Ooh.
Warden,
And
was
this is
that
the
an
random-
improvement?
This is the random events table, and obviously any subs gifted can be given a reroll.
Okay, what's going on?
Natural 20, natural 20.
Wow.
Oh no!
No way.
Are those bad or good? That's a
I
question.
made the nat 20 bad.
I'm so glad I rolled a 6. Then.
I know.
Sorry, do I need to roll
It's-
a d20?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone is rolling.
I've never
it.
been so relieved to roll less than a 10.
I got a 10.
Oh shit! Is that 2 nat 20? Okay.
Two nat-
Myself and Durrell are about to feel the pain. I
Okay,
guess.
I'm gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna. Hang on, I'm gonna have to flip a coin because one of you is gonna have to re-roll because they're unique events.
Ooh.
Or does the chat want to nominate who has to take? the
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's
Yeah,
not a bad
Chad.
shout.
So who should-
First person
That's
who posts
cruel.
gets to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever
Durrell or
whoever's
Andy?
name you post gets to reroll.
How quickly can we do a straw poll?
I think. I mean,
we should be able to do a poll in Twitch chat. Christian might be able to help me with that, but it might
So
just bear in mind that there's like a 20-second delay as well for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, for next time when we do have to do this, we'll have polls set up.
Mm.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
Andy has something like that already.
Wha-
She's fine. She doesn't need a poll.
No, but I'm just
Oh,
saying.
oh.
Oh,
Ah, that was a close one.
by seconds, Andy, you pig
yeah, that was
Durrell has
Ivan's
had
vote.
enough to deal with.
it.
I don't know. We have a couple. We have 3
Yeah.
votes in, so I don't know. Do we take the first or do we take the?
Well, either way, you win.
I think it was the
Okay,
first one
so-
because that's what. Yeah, we said.
So has Andy been chosen to re-roll?
Andy's been given the reroll.
Okay, Andy, give me your roll.
I swear to God, if this comes out of 20 again.
Come on.
Then it's Durrell's turn.
Ooh, 18.
Okay. So, now obviously gifted subs to re-roll. it isn't to get a new result. They will be cumulative. So it'll be another event. Okay, so who will? I feel I should save Jorl for the end, so I'm actually just going to go from Andy up.
I was going to say, do you want to start the lowest number, and I'll give you who's the lowest up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you can start with me then, with 6.
Okay. Oh, so on one of your days on the job, for recovering an apothecary's stolen goods, he rewards you with a potion of healing.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Okay.
Then the next one is Vorden with an 8.
Vorden. Wow, this is I did these all before. This is perfect for Vorden. This, I swear to God, this is I couldn't. So you save a drunken man from drowning in the canal after he staggered over the edge. So some days later, he comes to you, and it says that he's quit the drink, and to thank you for saving his life in more ways than one, he gives you a bottle of fine wine from his family's reserve, the last of its kind. His family once owned a vineyard, but he ran the business into the ground.
Don't be giving him stuff like that. He'll waste it and drink it.
He never drank. He never drank the bottle. And he's giving you the bottle because he's like, I'll only waste it. Someone should enjoy it and savor the wine. You know?
Can I ask a question? Is this like Vorden's split personality talking to himself?
No, this is insane.
He saved
The
himself
bottle-
from drowning and decided to give up
Yeah,
beer and then
exactly.
give himself a bottle of wine anyway.
The bottle is worth about 35 gold pieces.
Ooh, okay.
It's not like, but it's like nice wine. This is the kind of wine that you'd never be able.
You
to
don't
afford
you
in a
don't open
restaurant.
this bottle of wine, Vorden.
Yeah, it's
Don't
it's
Vordel.
like it's
Vordel.
yeah.
You don't
it's,
open this.
It's old.
It's one you leave for presentation.
Yeah, it's still got
So
dust on it.
who's-
I think the
Bitch.
narrator is talking to Tyler Durden at this moment.
So, Jesus Christ. So Navani's on that
10.
thread.
Yeah.
The party went out on the town the night before
Oh, sweet.
this session. Since
Yes.
all of you were
They
off at
went
the
out.
same time.
They went out on a session
Yeah.
after the session.
Yeah, exactly. So they were all, so this is kind of like just the night before we're going to be, joining gameplay, or, minute by minute gameplay. So since all of you happen to be off at the same time. So after hitting the town a bit too hard, when we come back to minute by minute gameplay, you are all thoroughly hungover. That you have disadvantage on constitution checks and saving throws until you finish a short rest. So you're
Aw.
all going into the adventure hungover. Who is next?
Sounds like a normal
is
Friday night
18.
for me. But anyway.
Andy with an 18.
Oh, Andy. While breaking up a bar brawl between a large crowd, you are blindsided by one of the brawlers. They strike your knee with a heavy iron poker from the fire, breaking your leg. Though Brown Cloak healers reset the bone and got you on the road to recovery, your leg still has some healing to do. Your movement speed is reduced by 5 feet for 1d4 days. So you have to roll me that.
Jesus,
D4.
that was some night out, lads. We brought home one
Yeah,
of those traffic
apparently-
cones.
I just
Apparently,
want to
Vorden
point out
just
that
immediately
Andy
hit
doesn't
that
drink.
bottle of wine.
Andy doesn't
Oh.
drink
These are sitting
normally,
here
so
drinking.
y'all
Yeah.
peer
Knuckle
pressured her
twang.
into this, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Her first time
I should have
drinking,
actually-
and she gets a broken leg for.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
like a good
I
night
should
out,
have
though.
actually checked that.
Why do I
I
feel
should've
more
checked
scared
that.
about my move now?
Yeah, you should be terrified now when you
What
think-
the hell are you talking about? I got the nat 20.
I think Andy just
Yeah.
got drunk from the fumes coming off Vorden that night.
Yeah. I just decided that I was like, oh well, it's a random table. It's not like a check, so 20 will be just for.
I don't know,
Jesus
like
Christ,
10
like, no
was
one-
pretty fucking bad as well.
Yeah, yeah.
10
Lestat
seems like it was
is
worse
this the
than
Brown
20.
Cloaks or a frat house?
They're distributed. They were distributed. It wasn't evenly good, bad, good, bad. I tried to make it kind of random. So
Also,
I like this.
although there were 10
DBG
good, 10 bad.
DB Gibson says, I used to be Andy till I took a poker to the knee.
Very good.
Oh no! Brilliant. I hate you. Get out. So Doral, Jesus Christ, the guy's been to the
Dun,
ringer.
dun, dun.
You were on duty, along with some red cloaks, for the execution of the infamous mage and serial killer Norwell Kane, dubbed the Body Snatcher, who had been plaguing the drains for several months. People's bodies were quite literally just, disappearing. There was all stories that the Snatcher would come, take you in the night, and be careful walking home alone, etc., etc. Upon apprehension in his secret transmutation laboratory, Cloaks found the remains of several people, but much more shocking were the grotesque, caged abominations that Kane called his experiments. Just various, humanoid and beasts and other creatures stitched together, fused together with magic, begging for death. But before the headsman's blade swung, Kane cursed the Cloaks in attendance with his final breath, naming them as fools who could not understand his great work and deriding them for their, quote, simple minds. Now cursed by the Dark Mage, you have disadvantage on intelligence checks and saving throws. There may be further effects of this curse, but whether there are, or what they might be, you do not know. The
Interesting.
Doral is cursed. Disadvantage on int checks and saving throws
Writing that down.
for
Can I tell if he's cursed?
X amount of time. Yeah, I mean, not like instantly, but maybe if you were like research, you know what I mean? If you did a bit of like,
No, I'm just.
research.
I mean, just like off the cuff, can I tell that he's cursed?
It would probably take a while. I feel like you'd have maybe like an inkling that there was a bit of a aura about him, and you'd have to because like stuff like identify generally like won't reveal a curse, but if you kind of put your mind to it and
Well, like I wouldn't do
it's-
anything about it anyway. If I knew.
yeah, but I feel like you would, and obviously Doral would feel
Navani
something
is
wrong.
still sore about what happened, so even if she knew Dural was cursed, she wouldn't heal it. I just want to know if I knew.
Oh, with the I'd say you'd have a pretty good sense. So, I don't know before moving on. I don't know.
We're all hungover. Is that just disadvantage?
You broke a
on
leg.
on any saving throw, or is it on a
Con.
What are disadvantage on?
Con checks
Con,
and saving con.
On
Anything
con. Okay,
con, yeah.
cool. Okay, cool.
And Doral's got it on int as well. But it is so you have that until where's the hungover one?
Really
Hey?
screw the mage
No.
over there, hey?
Yeah.
But you don't. You don't have to. Oh, yeah, you do. Oh,
Concentration.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of
I thought it was
the,
int. I was like, oh, you're okay, but no, you're not.
No, I'm really-
one of them involved a cat.
What?
Oh!
What?
No!
Don't touch
He was
her.
gonna- He was going to kill Ember.
No, I specifically made sure
Oh.
that no harm would come to her.
Maybe that's how you broke your
this was-
leg.
I had made this.
I
made this table,
I was
and then
dodging because I had
Yeah,
the kitten in
you're
a
protecting
pocket in
Ember.
my cloak, so I was like, and that's how I took the iron.
I quite
over
like
to
the
leg.
idea
no, the
that
cat one was a good one.
Navani was maybe like
Oh, it was good. Oh, okay.
holding up her hand and getting Andy to like do roundhouse kicks. And like, somebody goes, Navani, and I go, what? And I just kind of like, look over my shoulder and
Oh,
Andy just goes,
actually,
"Nap."
I must.
That happened to me once in real life.
Oh,
Except I landed on my foot like this.
Oh,
Like, yeah, and I walked all the way to the hospital as well.
God.
I don't do martial arts anymore.
Okay, now on a scale of like 1 to 5, how drunk were you?
Not at all. I was sober. It was actually during training.
That was your problem.
Yeah, I think that you are right. Yeah.
I'm just
Always
gonna
train
briefly-
drunk. And actually, listen to me. That was a
Yeah.
joke.
Wait.
Uh,
Is it legal to be sober in Ireland?
I
thought you
wasn't
had
in
to at
Ireland
least-
at the time.
I thought you had to at least maintain a buzz.
I was not in Ireland at the time. I was in Canada at the time.
I've just made a note just to kind of I can repopulate that. I'll get rid of those, and I'm going to repopulate the table with some other stuff for the next time we do this.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Guys,
ju-
we're in trouble.
Can I just say before I forget, like the week sort of preceding this, where we were kind of like earning a little bit of gold and stuff, I'm
Yeah.
going to take the extra roll with the 4 gold that I got, and I'm going to give it to the quartermaster. And also,
Yeah.
like in those weeks, I'm kind of like finding on my travels and during my wayward ways, I'm going to look for ingredients, herbs, anything I find, or that I can pick up, because I don't know why, but I just feel this need to do this every time I find something or get a bit of downtime, and I just feel like
Sure.
Quartermaster needs this stuff because it'll make everyone a little happier. Because the Brown Cloaks is a pretty shitty situation, and I kind of at one point ask him to kind of like rustle something really nice up for Dural at some point, because I've noticed he's a little down in the dumps recently.
Yeah, so if you actually I need to get her actual name. I've forgotten it now. Sorry, let me pull up me notes. NPC notes. The cook is. Sorry, guys.
Ben has a wicked complicated org chart for the Brown Cloaks.
He does.
Pippa Riverweed is a female halfling, middle-aged, short chestnut curls, heavy set, very strong. She's cook. She's the cook. A former sailor. She is tattooed all over. It's a series of vines and leaves, which are all blooming with various plants and different spices, but only ones that she's tasted from around the world. Who knows what she's doing here now? But yeah, with she kind of discreetly doesn't make a big show of it in the thing, but she gives you gives the door. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this one because one of the random things that I added in actually involved you doing a favor for Cook, and for the Cook gave you something. So essentially, going to talking, you kind of explain, fucking, guys been through the ringer, and on top of that, all this shit. And Cook, from her own private stock, she bakes these 3 delicious specialty treats. They're these very almost like it's like shortbread kind of texture and taste, buttery. These Cook's special cookies so eating one gives you 1 temporary hit point and advantage on con checks and saving throws for 4 hours. Now they will spoil after 1d4 plus 4. Actually, they will spoil after 6 days. They'll go, they won't have that effect. But yeah, they just kind of bolster you. So Doral has these 3 cookies that will give you 1 temp hit point and advantage on con checks and saves for 4 hours. So that actually would offset the being hungover. Everyone is probably jealous of Doral. You're all hungover and he's eating these special cookies, and it's I can't say anything because he just lost his trainer and he's been cursed. But I want those cookies. You can't really ask him to share. God damn it, the guy needs it. Do you say Senzu? Senzu cookies? Yeah. The last session when I gave you, there was the smugglers had the kind of the drugs, all the different herbs and the kind of stuff to give you a boost. I was actually going to call them Senzu leaves because I had to Google. I was like, Senza. I was trying to remember what the beans were called in Dragon Ball Z. So let me just get rid of that, just so I remember, because I don't want to do a roll and be like, hey, you helped Cook, here's more of those cookies, because we've already done that. So yeah, so it's it's been a fucking long 3 weeks. Ended in a bit of a rage.
Woo!
I want to believe that Navani started the rager, but I'd say it was Vorden all along.
I fully
no,
believe
no,
that Navani
no.
is the one who talked Andy into drinking.
Oh yeah, no, that totally happened.
Navani talked Annie to drinking, and Pouches used invisibility and pulled down someone's pants, and that's what set the whole thing off.
You pulled Vorden's pants down.
And that started a bar fight.
You bastard.
And that
sounds
started a
about right.
bar fight.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
I turned around and thought it was the guy behind me and smashed him one, and then it just went south from there.
Yeah. The half walk.
But so we learn about the party that has disappeared down in the sewers, right?
Oh, everyone knows. Yeah, they went into the sewers. They never came back. No one's been able to find any trace of them.
So, like, over our cups at the tavern that we're raging at, I just ask everyone, like, so what are your thoughts, guys, about what happened? Do you think it was him? Do you think it was our friend?
No, I think it's that dude, the Hastings dude, and he was talking smack about our captain, and he's trying to be the new like top dude, the commander, and
Yeah.
I think he did it so that our captain would look bad. Mm-hmm.
So Andy, do you tell us about like everything that you've uncovered by that Hastings dude then?
I do, but I'm not sure if I do it at disadvantage because I'm doing this while it occurs to me while I'm like drunk for the first time.
Well,
But
I
I'll
feel
tell you about seeing him do the speech and he was talking smack and saying
Now-
we're shit and
what you
Fuck that
were
guy.
asking me. I guess give me a wisdom saving throw.
me.
Ooh,
Straight. Yeah, Andy.
okay.
Wisdom saving. Okay. Saving throws. Oh, there they are.
And does Andy still have her band or not?
Yep.
Oh, she still has it. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to do your task first.
Speaking of the band, Andy's like, and I saw this dickhead. He was giving this speech while I was out trying to get this weird silver-haired person to get this band off. And it's
Well,
like she stops herself. She starts telling the story of like why she was there because her inhibitions are just like doesn't have the common sense to not say that she was what she was doing there.
And I just go shh. You do that like shh thing back. Okay, no, yeah, right.
But anyway, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The main thing is that the Archduke dude, Hastings, he's the one with his hair and his jaw and his I'm talking smack about our captain. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, our captain is going to die soon.
No, it's just,
No,
well,
no,
the
commander.
Oh, sorry, our commander is going to die
the
soon.
old dude. Yeah.
Yeah, the old
sorry.
guy.
There's a,
Very old.
yeah.
Very old.
William
He's
Sharp,
old.
aka Bill Blunt.
At this point, I'm going to jump in and say, if it had been the Black Cloak, their bodies would have been found hung from the walls. He seems like the type to send a message, not just have people disappear.
That's true.
Do you think he'll come back for me? And I say that in all seriousness with kind of like a little bit of worry in my voice.
At that point, Pouches will have cast Mage Hand and will grab Navani from behind with it.
Oh,
Like,
oh
just
God.
like grab her hair, like give it a yank. And just like watch her freak out.
I immediately go for pouches, like wrestling wise. Like
So Vorden's
I want to
got
try and
pulled
make him say
down.
uncle or
Andy's
auntie.
disengage and
Navani is
disappear.
Whoa, no, hang on. Well, hang on. Give me initiative rolls.
Ooh.
On.
Bum, bum, bum.
Obviously, I want to see who reacts quicker.
Okay.
Okay. 14.
Oh, okay, okay, Navani. So grapple check. So the two of you make. I suppose you probably make acrobatics. Or obvious. So
Acrobatics
Nani-
or athletics?
No, sorry.
If you're the
pouches.
aggressor, it's always athletics.
Athletics.
If you're the other one, you can pick.
Yeah. So you have to do athletics, and then pouches will choose, presumably.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so close! I almost got away.
I thought it was. Yeah. So yeah, you've got pouches in a headlock.
Yeah, I want to make him say auntie.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing that's gonna get me out of this.
Yeah. Only.
I'm gonna just try and like break this and try and like squirm away on my turn.
Yeah, give me a yeah, because I'm not just gonna just give me a grapple check
Oh, 20.
or an escape. I mean,
So you have to make another athletics.
yeah, you have to make another athletics. Try and hold on to slippery water.
Doesn't she
So
have
sorry.
an inspiration point?
Me?
Yeah, sorry, you have to do athletics to it's
Oh,
another
sorry. Hold on.
try-
essentially another contested thing basically.
Another athletics?
Yeah.
Oh, 10.
Yes.
Slippery.
Damn him.
Gone and under the table. It's like I am getting the way, and as soon as I can, I cast invisibility and just disappear into the night.
Yeah.
Wait.
And I'm-
Yeah, is
Hold on.
on. Yeah,
What's the black cloak got to do with your childhood?
nothing.
My childhood.
Yeah,
Oh,
you said he's
Devon.
coming back for you.
Yeah, seeing as you shot me into him. Do you remember? Remember the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
because
What if he
Yeah.
comes back for it?
What if he comes back for it?
But
Sure, isn't it gone back to where it needs to go?
Oh, so you agree that it needed to go back there? That's
Aye.
that's funny. That's funny.
Well,
you didn't think that
with
at
more
the time when you were willing to
information
give me
comes
up for him.
Andy's just going like between them.
Huh.
No, I'm,
And probably gets a
Questioned
bit
my
dizzy.
honor, and I got affronted for a moment. That was
you
all.
questioned my honor.
Well, you weren't going to show him it.
No, I wasn't because it wasn't his. I knew where that came from, and you accused me of stealing that.
You could have said something.
So could you? Could have asked me before you shot me to the enemy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did see you, pickpocket some dead people, rip stuff out of their mouths.
Did you
Stealing
ask whether I
pillage?
knew that wasn't me stealing? I was returning it to its rightful owners. You didn't question that. You just offered me up to the slaughter.
You're a bunch of grave robbers. I didn't exactly know you.
By
very
this
well.
point, since someone else is
it's
arguing
not
with
wrong.
Navani, Pouches just like circles back and like picks his drink up and like just disappears back into the crowd.
But it's okay to take stuff off dead bodies. They don't need it anymore.
Well,
And someone just
I'll
at a
disagree with
table
that.
2 tables away just goes. He's like, "That's right."
hey, look, I
Just
snap at
goes
him.
back to his.
Shut your mouth.
This
That's
doesn't
right.
concern you.
Just says, "Shut your
Anime
mouth."
rage
That's right.
eyes.
Vorden holds his breeches very tightly because this is sort of where things were going when his trousers got pulled down the day before.
Oh, I didn't mean to send you up the Swanee, but I did think you were a bunch of grave robbing crazy bastards, and you've done nothing but prove that to be right.
Well, I don't know. Did I not return the ring to its rightful owner? And does
You did in the
that
end.
not absolve me?
Well, it
of
looked to
that?
me at the time like you were trying to hide something.
Well, you didn't ask.
I'm gonna turn to Vorden and say, I would have kept the ring.
I go, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, so some of us do have honor, and we
Yeah,
worry about it.
some
whenever
of us
people
do.
Question.
Some
I
of us
don't.
do.
At that,
Sorry,
someone,
you're supposed to be
again-
representing some big hoity-toity god. You can't, act like a cloak. Someone who's supposed to help people. You're stealing from them.
I didn't steal from anyone.
You stole from dead people.
No, I didn't.
She, and I point to Andy, she stole from a boy.
As-
Pickpocket.
She's not me.
It's not stealing when you take it from a dead thing. It's only
As this
stealing
is
when
the
you take
guy-
it from a live person.
Yeah.
That's really stealing. And I say sometimes that's okay too. Yeah.
Take it from the rogue. She knows.
There's as this is happening, the guy that was like, "That's right," he comes over. It's this like very tall, lanky, drunk like human guy, the long blonde hair and a sort of a like just a loose, ponytail. And he's like, "Sorry, listen, guys, you two, you need to, you gotta get it together. You gotta, you're fighting. Look at you.
Can I pick?
You
can I
can't.
pick-
You just know. But look, I've known these two.
Can I
forever,
pickpocket
and
him
there's
while
never
he's
been
talking?
a better. Yeah, it's not even a. Yeah, you just remember, like, just think of the good times when you first remember on your honeymoon. You're the best husband and wife I've ever known. It's.
Can I just
hit
look
him.
at him and
wish
say,
I could
I hit him.
have
I hit
a
him.
spouse like you.
Really hard.
And that's where the bar fight begins.
Yeah, this is and then bar
"Perfect."
fight continues. Yeah, we find out Doral started the bar fight.
Well, I'll be honest, if it hadn't been Dural, it would have been me in about 2 seconds, because I was going to say the next time Navani picks up her drink, Pouches, who's now hiding on the far end of the bar, is going to cast Catapult and shoot it out of her hand into the sky.
Yeah, and it just becomes like everyone else is having like an actual brawl, and Pouches is just like tucked away in the corner, like.
Just like.
And so with very, very heavy heads, the following day,
And a somewhat healing broken leg.
yeah. Or actually, before that day, most of you don't really notice it until the morning. But each of you have there is a letter tucked under. It's just sort of like peeking out of the pillars. Or no, oh no, sorry. I scrapped that because that's a bad idea. Sorry. Each of you, sorry, as you were on patrol, you get a little something hits you in the back of the head. Each of you receive a little paper, like a little origami bird, and it says ring bearer on it. It says that that a friend requests a meeting in, I'm very sorry, I forgot it, in the Falling Star, which is an inn and tavern. It is in the sort of middle class area of the city. It says requests a second meeting. You should all be in attendance. There are matters of great importance to discuss, and it is signed YM.
Yim.
To the notebook.
Yeet something.
Or of like initials, not like Y, like capital Y, capital M. Said ring
Sure.
bearers.
Hmm.
I'll shrug
You
and
could just go.
make my way that way.
To the inn.
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna make my way there.
Do we
All right.
recognize the handwriting?
Give me an intelligence check.
No, jeez. Okay.
Would I know
What
what
did
YM stands for? What is the
Oh,
Black
Jesus.
Cloak's name?
Sorry. Oh, the Black Cloak's name is Cregan Thorn.
Yeah.
But sorry, it said ring bearer, and then
I'm gonna
That
go.
says it stands for
Sorry.
your mama.
oh yeah, sorry, I missed out a sentence. It said, yeah, I came bearing gifts. Now I must ask a favor.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to the inn.
I'll go.
I have too many people that I've asked for like information and favors from, so I'm definitely going.
Um, but
Your mom is so fat.
yeah, if everyone is going, then you will all, arrive sort of at similar times. Because if you're all, well, I suppose yeah, but as each of you make your way, I'll say that, yeah, so I just to say, Andy, you arrive first.
Cool.
So Andy, you arrive first. And, you scan around, you don't immediately recognize it, but like 30 seconds after you walk in the door, Vorden walks in.
So I'm gonna look at Vorden, be kind of confused through the haze of the throbbing in my head that I've never felt before, and then figure out that okay, this obviously isn't one of the people I'd been talking to of late. If he's here too, or maybe he's here. Is he spying on me? No, I don't think that's likely. Let's see how this plays out. That's her thought process.
Would I suppose Vorden and Andy give me perception checks?
Yeah, Vorden's just like, oh, fancy seeing you here.
Hi.
Perception.
Oh, that one.
Oh.
That's very
Oh,
in keeping.
Dear,
Yeah.
not much better.
The two of you, I don't know if you discuss the, little paper bird message or not, but presumably, I don't know if you're sitting at. There are a few tables available. It's pretty sparsely populated. I don't know if you grab a drink and sit after a couple of, after a minute. Doral arrives. And then after another, 2 minutes, or after you're sitting there for a while, having a drink, about 10 minutes go by, and Navani shows up, and then about half an hour later, Pouches arrives, and you're all kind of fixing to leave at this stage, or else we might as well, kind of wondering what the fuck is going on, when a man gets up from a table in the corner of the room. He had a hood up, and he just sits down at your table, and he pulls the hood back, and it is Yarnold Mornstar, the Judge Magister of Lawkeep, who you delivered the ring to, and who gave you your few gifts.
I immediately salute.
He kind of he coughs, shakes his head.
Say under my breath, not him again. Jeez.
Are we getting more cool stuff? I'm gonna whisper that to Vorden probably, or maybe Dural, whoever's sitting closest to me, probably.
No, I think he has more ring fingers. Needs another one.
He wants us to steal another ring.
Says,
We didn't fucking steal it.
Recover another ring.
I'm just watching all of them bicker in front of this guy, and because they're all drunk, none of them are really whispering, and he can hear everything, and I can hear everything, and it's just. And I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Again, this guy is, he's an older man, kind of, got dark grey hair, shaved, kind of at sides, and swept back, kind of that undercut, stubble, and he's just wearing just common clothes. He's not wearing any insignia of rank or anything. He's not armed, and says, "Well, you came. It's the first step. I feel I can trust you. You did a good turn for me. I've been observing you. You're capable. But most importantly, I don't have reason to believe that any of you have been compromised. He looks, and
I think there's probably some serious like eye contact going on among us all at this stage.
and he looks at Navani. He says, some of you may have noticed strange goings on in the city. I trust that you felt it in the times that you've been beneath the streets, down in the dark places, in the old places of the city. Tremors in the earth, voices, hauntings. Mindhelm is sick. Something is breaking.
I'm just gonna like whisper the word God Fiend at this point and see how he reacts.
Give me an insight check.
That's one of those good skills Pouches has, and by that I mean no, not at all. Pouches is not a wise character.
No.
6.
If he reacted, you didn't notice. He didn't betray it.
Do I notice?
No, he doesn't. He
doesn't.
He
flinch.
stays just kind of focused on you. Yeah, and he says, "Well, or actually, you can give me an insight if you want, because he's staring directly at you, so you might see it. If there is something.
Would I have heard Pouches say Godfiend though?
I mean, if it was audible for him,
19.
He twitches ever so slightly. He kind of, his face kind of.
I don't say anything, but yeah.
Kind of. Can I make an insight check against Navani to see how she reacts?
He's
it's like Inception. Insight check within an insight check.
Insight.
Like Patches knows he can't read that guy, but he can read Navani. He grew up with her. He knows all her little twitches.
Well, okay, go on. Last insight check.
With advantage?
No.
Fuck off.
Be grateful I'm allowing this.
9.
No, it's difficult to tell. He says that I believe that not all, but certain elements in Lawkeep have been compromised. It is our duty, our sworn duty, to protect the city, the world, from dark magic. And dark magic is afoot beneath Mindhelm. In the catacombs of the charnel tunnels, in the drains, there is a tomb to an old necromancer known as Dendarian the Dread. He is long dead centuries. Though I'm not sure that the state he's in could really be called death. Powerful seals were placed on his tomb to seal him in and to protect the surrounding area from his necromantic miasma. Those seals are weakening. It needs to be stopped. I intended to contain these energies before they could spread much further, but I have few that I can trust. I sent an arbiter. One of mine, one that I can trust. And he looks at Navani, and his name was Kelm. You don't like know him, you know what I mean, but you're like aware of who he
I've
is.
heard of him.
Yeah, like, you know, he says
Kelm with an elm? Like
I'm sorry, with an N.
Keln.
Like
Yeah.
kiln, but with an E.
Yeah. He says, I sent him down into the catacombs 2 days ago. He has not returned.
So you're asking us to go get another ring?
I have no. I have no one else that I can trust with this.
I
asking
definitely
you
think
just-
we should go down there.
Yeah, I say to him, does this got something to do with those fellows who went down not too long ago and didn't come back? Per chance.
And he says, cannot state for certain, but does it have something specifically to do with this necromancer? I don't know. Likely not. There are many foul things beneath the city, but it is all one sickness.
I make some sort of
Kate-
history check on this
Yep.
group that he works for. Do I know about them at all?
It's Lawkeep that Navani is part of, but obviously he's saying that he doesn't know if he can trust all the higher ups. He's pretty high, like he would be one of the highest up in Lawkeep. He's one of the judge magisters.
Big fat three.
Nah, it's religious hokum pokum. You know, it's not.
Load of
you know.
shite. I don't know about it. Don't think any good
And
Avengers came from there.
he says, no, he says, I want
Well,
you.
just before you carry on, Ben,
He doesn't have an.
I feel like this comment's just for you. DB Gibson says the story's hitting
Mm-hmm.
epic D&D status now. We have missing people, dread foreboding, and weakening seals. We're all set up for the end of the world shit here. And then he said, I love it.
Nice.
Carry on, my wayward
Doing it for
son
you
has
guys.
just like burst into my head.
Oh, that's brilliant.
He says, I don't have it with me, but I need you to take something down into the catacombs, to the necromancer's tomb. Consecrated, rune-marked stake. Needs to be driven into his flesh. It should dispense the necromancer's reconstituting essence temporarily, till such time as I and those few that I trust at Lawkeep can construct a newly sealed sarcophagus. But I also need you to retrieve the necromancer's heart. I will need it in order to make the new seal. I can't trust
So-
anyone else to do it.
Do we have to stake
And
him in the heart?
if I
and
may
then
be
the
blunt,
heart?
it does not matter where you drive the stake, so long as it is in his once mortal flesh. But
I've known a lot of girls, and I think they would all agree that it does make a difference.
he says, he says that he
I think I broke Fona.
And Andy's like when like if you said that in character, Andy's just really confused by what you're saying, but I think it's hilarious.
yeah, he's like, frankly, I don't mean to be callous, but those few that I can trust in Lawkeep, trained arbiters, I need them other tasks that require their skills, but, and he kind of points at Navani, I know that I can trust you and you trust your compatriots.
You're asking me to question everything that I've been training towards and all of the teachings that I've been taught.
No, I'm asking you to uphold those teachings. It is not you, it is...
Who among us can we not trust? You can tell me. I mean, you're asking me to do this.
I do not know. For certain, I just...
Can I like I know I insight checked him the first time we met him,
Mhm.
but this time I really freaking mean it, because like he's asking me to go against
The
like
institution.
yeah, like yeah. So I'm gonna insight check him.
And
Yeah.
while you do that, Chad is having a whole debate on what eating the heart would give you. And I think my favorite vote so far is maybe the ability to eat Vindaloo and continue as a normal human being the next day.
If you're talking
Uh,
about eating another part of the body, and it is not the heart. Just saying.
18.
I've been following the chat very closely, and I'm disturbed.
Yeah. He is holding something back.
He's holding something back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chad has some ideas of what that is. Considering they're-
Okay. All right.
Does Andy trust this guy? Like any ability she has to kind of read somebody being
How many
genuine?
authority figures do you trust?
Well, that's true. Yeah. No,
Wait,
so, yeah.
let me add to that. How many authority figures do you trust that are part of the organization that put that thing on your arm?
Yeah, so it wouldn't work.
I kind of look around the table and try to judge what the other people are thinking. Are they going to help this guy or not? I just look at everyone and like...
Pouches is going to
For
go
real?
wherever Navani goes.
Yeah, you can sort of tell
Um,
by Vorden's kind of passive face that he's just waiting to see what everyone else does, and he'll tag along if enough people kind of go with it. Just to
and
help out.
Andy wants to go down. She wants a reason to be down that area, so she's probably trying to hide it to some degree and not look like super like, yeah, let's go. But she's definitely on board with going.
Well, I don't know.
He
I've
says,
read a
"Look,
lot of adventure books, and whenever you hand over the necromancer's heart to the strange quest giver, typically they eat it and ascend to a true final form and try to kill the hero. So I don't
He's
know if
smiling.
I'm buying selling.
I am going to look at all of you and say, can you give us a minute? All of you, please.
I'm going to kind of like just be like supportive and just like pat her on the shoulder and leave.
This is
Okay.
crazy.
And then
Drinking the Kool-Aid, and I turn on my heel and leave.
I'm going to be
and
throwing
what
very
line-
suspicious looks, but I will eventually turn and go.
And I'm going to debate casting invisibility and going back, but I'm not going to because I'm going to respect Navani's privacy for
turned
once
into-
in my life.
Wow.
Also,
turned
I
into-
know Vorden or Dural will throw me under the bus if I do.
I turn to Navani before I leave and say, "Very well, Navani, but before I leave, a word of advice. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Actually, it's blind."
That doesn't leave much, Gordon. That doesn't leave much. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm guessing it's just me and him now. And I look at him and I go, what are you hiding?
I want to be wrong. But I cannot. I cannot trust Cordelia as I once did.
Why?
Because I've seen, heard, hiding something from me. It's been secretive. It's been spending time in the forbidden sections of the library. She's an arbiter. Has free reign, but I've seen the tomes that she's been poring over. Tales of the Defiers. Sorry, Tales of the Defiled. More like...
Do you understand what you are asking of me? She is my mentor.
I'm asking you to forsake the order that we have dedicated our lives to in the pursuit of upholding the ideals that we dedicated our lives to, and to likely die in that pursuit for the good of the common people.
I just
It's our lives for theirs.
You're asking a great deal right now, but we will
need not accept.
We will do as you ask.
I understand that this is for you a righteous cause, but you can assure your compatriots that I will see them rewarded.
Well, that's all they'll look for. But I want more than that.
Name it.
I'll get back to you. And then I want to
He
turn
said
on
one
my
thing.
heels.
Just as you do, he just grabs a hold of your arm before you turn, and he just says, I know that you're ready and willing, but the others should know that if they take a step onto this road, they may have to see it to its end.
Every road has an end.
Let's go.
And then
Yeah.
I join my party. And I just say to you guys, are you guys up for this? I don't want to put you in any further danger, but it's up to you.
You know, I go where you go.
If you think we should do it, I'm on board.
I think
Durrell?
we should do it, but we should take what he has to say with a pinch of salt.
Fair.
What's he gonna do with this necromancer's heart once he gets it? How do we know to trust him?
Can't be sure, but perhaps the sickness is real. We have seen a lot of strange happenings.
I mean,
recent
shit
months.
monster nearly at me, and there's some
Yeah.
other stuff that definitely at me.
Remember that, yes.
Currently dealing with a curse.
There was a dude came by and killed my mentor, and then there was a weird serial killer that I seen beheaded. Said I was stupid. Fuck him.
I've been having strange nightmares of late, and strange headaches. Perhaps it's connected to the sickness. Perhaps what we are experiencing has something to do with this necromancer or whatever it is, but I don't know. Navani, if you believe that we can cure the sickness, perhaps...
I'm all up for that. Like, aye.
I am willing to lend my sword.
Listening to all of this, Pouches just kind of looks a bit disappointed that nothing freaky or weird has happened to him.
Yes.
I say,
Fundamentally freaky and weird.
I say
He tries.
All the
we
magic.
do as he asks. We see what we're up against, and I'll decide with my heart.
We maybe decide with facts and stuff. No?
I didn't ask you. And yeah, so we'll
Dural and
go for it.
Dural and Navani, the anger bang waiting to happen.
But I do want to. People will notice that, like, I'm going through a bit of an emotional crisis at the moment. Like, that's my whole institution. Like, and Navani would have believed in that wholeheartedly and given up her life for Lower Keep. So the fact that he's even suggesting that there is any foul play, especially from her mentor, then like she's having a bit of an internal conflict, but wants to go see what the fuck this thing's all about.
Look, well, what about this? I help you with this, and you help me kill a Goliath with red tattoos.
Done.
Yes. That sounds really good.
Done.
Where is he down there too?
If he is, I'll kill him.
Something tells me we're going to find out one way or another.
Yeah.
As Warden says that, see Mornstar steps back up to you. He lays a hand on Navani's shoulder. The guy, and he says, "Aye, you will." And then he, from his cloak, he pulls out. He's just like sort of facing the corner. He pulls out a silver stake, is carved with many, many runes.
How much does it look like it's worth?
You don't even
Can't sell the
Deus
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
How much does it even? How much does it look like a
people read
what?
adventure books.
How much does it look like a what?
Like it's worth.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a giant big lump of silver.
I have a different question. How much does it look like it weighs?
Yeah. Oh, it's heavy. He hands it over to Navani. Puts it in your hand. Yeah, it's heavy.
Right.
It's solid silver. And he says,
That's not a number.
he said, I lied when I said I didn't bring it with me. And
Hold on. I want to say to him, well, what else are you lying about?
and he leans in. He says, I am the necromancer.
Take him!
I want to stab him in the heart.
No. He does literally say that. Like jokingly, he's like, then he pulls back. He says, "Oh."
Don't do that to me, Ben. Jesus.
He says, I'm not. He says,
No.
I knew it. I called
he
it.
says, to be honest, I can't be certain what's true anymore. And he leaves you with the stake and he walks out.
Okay.
And with that,
Pouches is gonna just take it and just like weigh it in his
No,
hand.
Navani doesn't give it to Pouches. You're not allowed sharp objects. You know that.
no, I would say, with that, the session ends because we are not seeing what's going to happen if Pouches gets his hand on the
No.
map.
Oh no. I have just one idea, and it is long distance staking. So it's less than 10 pounds. I can fire it across the room.
Yeah, long
An
distance
improvised
staking.
weapon.
They call
I'm
that,
proficient with it.
yeah, long distance staking. They call that teledildonics. Okay, good night, everyone.
And on that bombshell,
We managed to circle back.
I love it.
Before we go, I think we're going to conduct a raid of some kind.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
We're
we
going to
are.
raid
Yeah.
GaryCon.
Oh, how fitting.
Our friends at GaryCon who were very gracious to us at the launch of
That's right, yeah.
Aimlot.
That's fun.
And Jason Charles Miller is actually DMing right now. So let's see if they give us a thank you.
What do we say? What's our call when we raid people? Is it just the pirate Yar? Are we still doing that?
Well, I'm not sure. That's up to Christian.
Teledildonics.
Teledildonics.
We will introduce a whole slew of people to the term.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, bye everyone. And thank you for the
Night.
stream, Ben.
And
So everyone had a good time. If you enjoyed, please do consider subscribing. Really helps us out. And we will see you next week. Same time, same shithole of a city.
And give Gary Con a big dirty ol' Yar.
Teledildonics.
Yeah. Teledildonics. See everyone.
Yeah.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
Or day or afternoon. Bye.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so